got that? One scene.
Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely inconvenience.
My name is Ryan Cam with Dateline NBC. Take a seat. You are watching Small Zero. We are back with our regularly scheduled program. This week we're going to be taking a look at Primetime, the new trailer. Robert Pattinson playing Chris Hansen. Didn't have that on my bingo card. We're going to be looking at the first footage from the Wolverine video game. First look at Man of Tomorrow. Zack Snyder is directing the remake of Escape from New York. And we also have a trailer for The End of Oak Street. And we will be paying tribute and homage to Marcia Lucas, the woman who saved Star Wars. But first up, from, well, his own channel, or, well, the great state of Minnesota, it's Matt Wyatt. Matt, how are you?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to be getting into a lot of the crazy topics today, especially Primetime trailer, which I was not aware that this movie was getting made and then it was supposed to be a biopic. And I'm excited to talk about the Wolverine, the gameplay trailer, and even X-Men 97, and our first look at the Man of Tomorrow set photos, even the first look at Lex Luthor in the Warsuit. So I'm very stoked.
He's just an art teacher, folks. And next up, I forget, what's his name again? Oh, yeah, Jabe Collins, get on down here.
Oh. So, yeah, I am so excited. It's been a minute. It's been a while since we had Ryan on. The last time we had Ryan on, we had one who was well endowed. So, but he put us all to shame, so we had to go back to Micro Ryan. You know, we're so glad to have you, Micro. You know, we couldn't have someone that's going to put us all to shame. You know, and we're really glad, yes. But this is the first show Ryan's back. This is his first show back, okay? We did do technically the watch party last week, but like this is his first Small Zero back since the last, I think, was Zack. Zack was on. You know, my buddy Zack was on.
Yeah.
So this is the first Small Zero since
out,
that.
Shout out to Zach Milne, who has a great channel, and thank you all.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for checking out the American Pie watch party. Thank you, Stephanie. Hope to have you back on very soon.
I wanted to correct Jake on that. The last live stream we did was with Robert Meyer Burnett and Big Dick Ryan. That was the one.
No, I think he meant the
Yeah,
last
so I
one.
said the last one we did with him.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I stand corrected.
Yeah, come on. Get your head out of your ass, Brian. I mean, Matt.
Hey, get your head out of your ass to get the name right.
Well, I caught a stray, but if you all are watching, please leave a like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. We already have Jeremiah kind of yelling at us from the great ether, so thank you, Jeremiah, for joining, and thank you all for watching. Or if you're watching the replay after the fact, we thank you from the past.
And I want to say to Jeremiah, I'm sorry, I can't control Jake and Ryan's schedule. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah, it's mostly our fault. I had PC issues before coming on where my fucking PC had to update, and so I was sitting there like a rock between a rock and a hard place. And Ryan, of course, Ryan's just late as usual, so that's just Ryan's fault. Okay, I can't control Ryan's schedule, but as for me, that's why I was late. As for Ryan, he has no excuse.
Ain't technology grand. But let's, without any further ado, get into our first story.
So I'm just throwing Ryan to the wall. Fuck you, Ryan.
What time? Prime time.
Okay. Oh, I think we're supposed to start off the weekend box office first.
Oh, yep.
Actually, that's the weekend box office. Ryan, we do the weekend box office first. He's been a minute, okay? He's been a minute. That's why he's like the weekend box office.
Yes, but yes, let us get into the weekend box office. And I think the top story here is back rooms, because I mean, look at that gross, my word. Like on a less than $10 million
really
budget.
Destroyed.
Calm down, Jake. Let him talk.
Kane Parsons is pretty much a made man with this one. We're already getting Backrooms 2. That's in active development as we sit here. but it's like, to Collins's point as he was interjecting, like two random horror YouTubers with the combined budget of a like one Blumhouse movie made two small budget, weird, creepy, terrifying horror films, and they're like top of the pops right now. Like Backrooms, like let's look at. I mean, let's first look at Obsession first. It's already got $171 million. Focus Features acquired that for about 15. Combine that with marketing, let's just say 20 million, and it's already made more than its budget back, and it's we're looking at a pretty nice healthy profit right there. So Focus Features have got to be doing a tap dance. And then we get to Backrooms, which I mean, A24, just they've got to be the happiest little gnomes, because it's got 146 million on about a 10-11 million dollar budget. Just unbelievable stuff. And distant third is Mandalorian, just going.
No, this is the reaction. This is the reaction.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you drama.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good day to be.
Coming up on So You Think You Can Live with Brian.
It's not a good week to be Dave Filoni. I'll just leave it at
To be
that.
fair,
But
to be fair, when Starfighter comes out and this movie, he has no blame on this because he didn't make this. Kathleen Kennedy did. I mean, yeah, he co-wrote the movie, but like four other people did.
Well, because you got to remember that these two movies, like Starfighter and Mandalorian Grogu, were made under Kathleen Kennedy when she was still CEO.
If this movie would have made $1 billion, he would still not get any like credit for it because he's like, you didn't make this, okay? So I will say, after Starfighter, anything that comes out after, he gets full blame for it. So I'm like, I will let him slide on Starfighter and Mandalorian. If Starfighter comes out and makes $1 billion, he's not getting the credit. I don't think he should.
No.
well,
But
I think the big story, the whole thing with back obsession or obsessed rooms, call them whatever you want, is that I feel like we're seeing kind of a switch, like a switch is being flipped, where it not just horror, like horror's been popping off for like a good 2-3 years at this point, but I feel like we're getting like a new breath, like a new generation almost. So that remains to be seen. But we're getting these two. Got Chris Stuckman to a lesser extent with Shelby Oaks. We got the Philippou brothers with Talk to Me, and
Bring her back.
Thank You, Bring Her Back, which those movies are both terrifying. Watch those if you're interested. But just we're getting this new wave. Yeah, Iron Lung. Yes, that I didn't love it, but I mean that movie made a whole lot of money too. So
I think you can only get it
just
on.
seems like
I think you only have to buy it on YouTube.
Are the future thing.
Yeah, it seems to me that the YouTubers are the future for cinema at this point, for indie like filmmakers that want to direct horror films, mostly horror films. And I've seen Obsession, and I really enjoy the film. It's terrifying as fuck, and it's going to make you want to have therapy after this movie. And I don't know if it's a movie that I would watch again, but I thought that the performances were absolutely terrific. It's definitely an incredible performance by far. Incredible, well directed, doesn't rely on some of the cheap jump scares. It was very well settling, and it just puts you on the edge of your seat. Of course, I've talked to a lot of people on social media that how much they fucking love that film, and this is their favorite movie of the year. So one person I know, I won't say who, saw it like 9 times in theaters. I was like, damn, you must really love that movie so much. And this is coming from a friend of mine that is a big horror guy. So he's a big horror fanatic. I have not seen Backrooms. I wanted to see it a week ago, but we couldn't be able to see it because of our AMC A-list reservations are full, but we're probably going to see it this weekend. Hopefully, but I'm really impressed with the numbers, especially on a low budget of a movie that is outgrossing the Mandalorian Grogu, and especially from a movie that was a big budget for other than the others. And Obsession was like made under $1 million, like less than $1 million. And Curry, what's his name? Last name?
Curry Barker.
Yeah, Curry Barkman. I remember that guy that he had a comedy skit on YouTube about that whole Xbox chat like job interview scene, which that if you have not watched it, it's fucking hilarious. But he is not
Also
new
made
to
Milk
directing.
Experience.
He's directed a lot of he's directed and had been as starring in a lot of short films in the past. But I'm really excited to see where he's going to do next. I mean, I feel like he's got another movie going to be coming out. He's going to be doing the reboot of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, which that got
and
controversy
that's
over
going-
because
Which
they-
he's
that's gonna
attached
hit
to
like a
direct
ton
it,
of
and after
bricks in that.
watching Obsession, I'm like, yep, this is the right guy to direct it. It definitely fits for him.
You think that Star Wars is considering bringing in a YouTuber to direct a Star Wars movie? I guarantee you, they're talking about it right now.
They're
There's
considering
no
it. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to.
I wonder if Kane Parsons like Star Wars is probably what someone at Lucasfilms is saying right now. Like, you think Markiplier is a big Star Wars guy?
I mean, Star Wars Theory is right there collecting dust, people.
I mean, he's already finishing up his fan film, his 2-episode fan films.
I don't think they're gonna get Star Wars.
I mean,
theory.
I know I agree with you. I don't think they'll get him because he's been talking a lot of trash about Disney lately. So I don't think
He's an edgy YouTuber. I don't think they're going for.
He's a very edgy anti-Disney YouTuber guy, but he is a hardcore fan. But other than that, I highly doubt that they want to hire him.
Josh at Denim Nerds has a better chance at working for Disney than Star Wars. But I will say, you know who had a bad weekend? Okay, besides Star Wars, Nate. What's his name? Was it Nate something? The one that had that movie, a family film come out called The Breadwinner.
Oh yeah, The Breadwinner.
Oh yeah, Nate.
Which
$7 million. It opened.
Dude, I literally, and haven't I been telling you, Jake, for a long time? No one's gonna go see this movie, and it's already got.
I was wrong. I was wrong. I thought this is gonna be a. Oh yeah, it's at 18%.
And then no one's gonna go see it.
Who wants to see Mr. Mom 2?
Or no, how about Mr. Mom remake?
This movie literally cost 25 to make. It made like $7 million. Wow.
Here's the result. 10 million right now. It made 10 million worldwide.
Worldwide. 10 worldwide. That's harsh.
That's bad. That's so bad. No one saw it. No one went bother to go see it.
It's got terrible reviews too.
And you're like, hey, but it's a family movie. People will go see it. Not this type of movie. This looks like a shitty version of Adam Sandler that would be in.
He's a funny comedian. People
he's
love
not great, but he's not a great actor. I've seen his acting in the trailer. His acting is not that good. He may be a great comedian, but he's not a great actor.
Every time I saw that Breadwinner trailer, I felt nothing. Like, at least with Sandler, even the bad stuff, I get like a visceral reaction to it. Like, every time I see the Breadwinner trailer, I'm just like, who said yes to this? Like, I need names.
I want to point this out right now. I wanted to talk about the Sheep Detective box office. It's actually got now reached 105 million worldwide, and it was on 75 million. I don't know how much they had to make to break even. I had to fact check it.
187.
Oh yeah. So I mean, it's unfortunate that no one went to go see it. I feel like they should have seen it because this movie was fucking great. I love the film.
Yeah, it's low key one of my favorites of the year.
I'm not gonna lie, it's actually still my second favorite movie of the year so far.
Could not have seen that one coming.
And this is from MGM Studios.
MGM's like making bangers this year, but then no one's going to watch their shit besides Project Hail Mary.
Except for Project Hail Mary, that is the only movie that people
Masters of the Universe is coming out. I was talking to TJ off camera yesterday before, and so I was talking to him, and he told me he went and saw Masters of the Universe last night, and half the theater was empty.
Ouch.
He said everybody, which I'm like, I said, no.
I personally have seen the movie, and there was a lot of people there at the opening fan night event.
Yeah, but his is like, I think in like Los Angeles, like California, where like that's like usually get all your money in, opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
If that's your target, your box office target box office. If that's half empty, that means your movie's not going to do well.
Well, which theater did he go? Well, I know he went to which kind of theater did he went to? A premium screen?
Yeah, I think premium. I don't know. I have to ask. I'll ask.
It might because most people don't go to standard theaters.
Which I was just like, I said, I hope the movie does well because which people are like, the thing is though, because the movie has this $200 million movie. And Scary Movie 6 is like doing more business. I guarantee you. I would be shocked if come Sunday, Scary Movie 6 is like the number one at the box office because
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, regardless of what the critics may say about Scary Movie 6, it's still going to make money and people will go see it.
I mean,
All
look
those
at
movies
Mario.
were rotten on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
and yet they still like made money because people like to laugh at stuff like
I mean,
that.
look at the past of the Wayans brothers when they were making movies. Even
White
even
Chicks has
both,
negative reviews.
even the first two Scary movies had rotten reviews.
Yeah, which people were showing then, like, because I know somebody, a mutual friend of ours was on John Campia's show, and they were talking about the Rotten Tomato score, and they're like, Naked Gun has a positive, like, I mean, maybe it's just not a good movie, and I'm like, you can't really judge it because I mean, every single Scary movie's had negative reviews. If this would have got like positive reviews, I mean,
But to be fair, Campia was never a fan of the Scary movies.
He's not even a horror fan, really. I mean, to be fair, I love John Campia, I love him, but he's not a horror fan. Okay, every horror film he talks about, he's like not really a fan. He's not a fan of Screams, Halloween. I'm sure he's not a fan of Texas Chainsaw or Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, he's just not a horror, which is fine. You can be a fan of Star Wars, not a fan of horror. I mean, look, I know people that aren't a fan. My mother's not a fan of horror. And that's fine if you're not a fan of horror. I mean, there's a lot of people that aren't. But yeah,
I have seen Scary Movie 6. I had fun with it, but I won't say that it's not going to be like on par of the first three of the most funniest movies. There are some funny moments, but I'm not going to review it I'm not going to go into it too much. But I still had a good time watching it.
By the way, off topic, have you guys watched the trailer for Eli Roth's new horror film, The Ice Cream Man?
No.
It looks demented, and I love it.
I saw the show. Matt, I'm about to show you it off camera because that is a gory ass trailer. That trailer, I'm like, what the hell is this movie?
I told Russell Howell on my show with him that just dropped today the other night. Eli Roth does not make normal movies.
He cannot even.
You gotta understand, Eli Roth is always about having a lot of gore fest.
Yes,
a house with a clock in its walls. Even he had like, oh, I gotta make this somehow weird. And you're just like,
he never makes horror movies that are normal.
But unless you guys have anything to add, we can move on. What did you all think of the weekend box office? Are you impressed with Backrooms' success? Let us know in the comments. Love to read what you have to say. Now, it's what time? Prime time.
Ryan's been waiting to talk about this all week. Like, I can't wait to talk about Prime Time. This is like the one. I will say, I did watch the documentary that this is based off of, because there's a documentary called Predators that this is based. It's on Paramount Plus, and I watched that last Friday night just because after this trailer dropped, and I'm like, oh my god, I actually want to watch Primetime even more now, because if they're covering all the stuff in the documentary in this movie, might be an Oscar nomination, okay, for Robert Pattinson. That's how good that documentary is, and that's how good this movie will be if they cover it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to read off the story. A24 has released the teaser trailer for Primetime, a new drama thriller that sees Robert Pattinson suit up as the iconic To Catch a Predator host Chris Hansen. Ren Flair filmmaker Lance Oppenheim directs with a script from Ojo's. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, but the other cast members include Merritt Weaver, Skylar Gazzano, and Phoebe Bridgers. Bridgers, yeah. The long line for Primetime reads in 2006, To Catch a Predator host Chris Hansen sets out to make television history. While it reveals a little in terms of plot, 2006 brought a significant chapter for To Catch a Predator, which followed Hansen and on a camera crew as they attempted to catch child predators in complex sting operations. In November 2006, Kaufman County Assistant District Attorney Bill Conrad killed himself in his Texas residence as law enforcement and an NBC camera crew descended on his home as part of a To Catch a Predator investigation. Conrad's case was part of a 4-day sting in Murphy, Texas, which yielded the capture of 25 men. The operation was met with fierce backlash from locals, and the county district attorney's office declined to prosecute any of the cases brought against the individuals arrested. To Catch a Predator ran from 2004 to 2007 on NBC. The show was massively popular during its day, and despite airing only 20 episodes, it remains a cultural touchstone of TV history and investigative journalism. To Catch a Predator also long outlived its time on air through viral YouTube compilations of the series' most outlandish moments. Primetime is a range of media. Enio Oralo, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, and Square Peg Production. Producers include Brian Kananoff Jones, Fred Berger, Robert Pattinson, Bridgerton McCloskey, Lars Constant, and Tyler Compline. So I wanted you to give your thought. What is your thoughts on the trailer, Ryan? I know you've been wanting to talk about this.
Well, I thought, well, I saw this once and then I saw it attached to Backrooms. And I thought, for what little it showed, I thought it was like, I thought it looked really cool because it's like you have this TV show within a TV show that you just like, you don't think it's that old, and then you think like, oh, it is really that old. Holy. But Pattinson has yet to miss for quite a while now. I feel like after Twilight, he's just gone from strength to strength. Big movies, small movies, everything in between. That's what is driving me towards this. Like subject material, yes, but I feel like Pattinson is just going to crush this because I mean, he has yet to miss for like up to now, like 2013, 14, 15 up to now. He has just like his CV has just been impressive, like Lighthouse and The Batman, of course, and like smaller movies like Cosmopolis, which I like, so he's like his range is diverse.
He
So if he's
surpassed the Twilight role.
oh yes, like he and Kristen Stewart have shown that they're beyond that material. Taylor Kitsch cannot be, or
Lautner.
Taylor Lautner, excuse me. Taylor
Taylor
Lautner
Kitsch. Oh shit.
could not be reached for comment.
Taylor Swift
But,
wishes he was in Twilight.
Yes.
I will say it looks very dark. Watching that teaser looks really good. It's Robert Pattinson. I completely agree with you. He's definitely one of the best actor, very underrated actor that should have got an Oscar nomination because I think he's definitely a very great method actor out there. And yeah, he's surpassed the Twilight and he's great as the Batman. I can't wait for the Batman Part 2. He's been working a lot, mostly a lot of these indie films, especially from A24. Probably one of his best performances was definitely Good Time. If you've seen it, it's really fucking good. Yeah, that was that. I think that was the one movie that attracted Matt Reeves' attention was Good Time, and seeing the whole the whole TV within the TV of the To Catch a Predator show, showing you the investigation that exposes the criminal underworld and took a major shift on television, seeing the behind the scenes, and from the trailer standpoint, it almost felt like I'm watching a thriller. Really, if you really think about it. And I can't wait to see the whole context of it. But I have grown up watching some of the episodes on Dateline, the How to Catch a Predator on NBC, and I've only seen at least a few episodes, but I didn't even binge it all the way through. But I was intrigued by that. Just seeing Chris Hansen catching predators in the act was hilarious. But that's just my personal thoughts. But I can't wait to watch this movie. It's supposed to come out in the fall of this year. I think.
Oscar season. I will say my thoughts on this is I'm a big Catch a Predator fan because I said me and my younger brother, we used to sit there and watch on YouTube all the Catch a Predator clips where we're like, oh, these guys coming in thinking they're going to get laid, and all of a sudden Chris Hansen shows up. Like one time there's a dude that walks in there and just drops strips naked, just comes and sits down on the stool, and Chris Hansen's like interviewing him. Well, he's naked, butt naked. And he was like, trying. And then he says, Chris Hansen's like, all right, hold on a second. They gets him a towel. And it says, here, put a towel on. The guy just sitting there naked with a towel. Yeah. He's like, the guy took all of his clothes off before he come inside the house and just walks in there naked. Like, he was just like, I'm ready. I am ready. He's like, I'm not even cutting to kiss. I'm just going in there like this. He walks in there. And Chris Hansen's just like, oh, and the decoy's like, oh my God. And so Chris Hansen
giving yourself away there, guy.
Chris Hansen's like, I guess just goes, I'll go talk to him. And does the interviews, then just walks out, and then the police have to arrest him. And this guy's butt ass naked. And, that to me, it made me laugh. And there's a lot of funny episodes. And, but here's the thing, okay? This show, because it's like, because this show is literally about we're catching these people, these monsters, and basically, we're putting them away, but also we're laughing at these predators because they're monsters, because they're like, okay, they're going there with this intent, but then
We're there just to laugh at them. We as audience just laughing the shit that he catches
the
them.
documentary Predators kind of says it doesn't take a stance with Chris Hansen. It feels like sometimes the show's exploiting them. Sometimes the show feels like the documentary says sometimes it feels like the show doesn't really care if they get arrested or not. It just feels like, okay, as long as we can actually show their face on camera and shame them, that's all we care about. And sometimes that, and I can understand that, but at the same time, it's like you want to see these guys, you want to see the bad guys get caught and arrested, and sometimes these charges don't stick, because it's like, okay, because some people say, oh, that's just entrapment. You're just entrapping these people, and I can see sometimes that argument, but at the same time, it's a fun. The trailer makes it seem like, because the show ended because apparently a guy killed himself. Okay, it was like a judge or whatever blew his brains out in a
That's what they're alluding to in this article here.
And so that right there, which they aired it too, by the way. They aired that. That was actually aired. They didn't show obviously him blowing his brains out, but they showed like the police in the standoff and everything, and it, and so of course it's. I wonder if they're going to show that. They have to show that in the trailer. Or in the movie, they have to show that standoff, because why would you not? That is like that's the most crucial part of this whole thing. And I am a big fan of Robert Pattinson. I think he has surpassed the Twilight boy. And so of course, I think he's going to crush it. And you got
Skylar Gazzono, who played Jimmy Olsen.
He's playing the decoy. He's playing like the decoy that talks to us.
And I forgot that I looked up on IMDb of who else is in the movie, and Anna Faris is actually in the movie too.
She's not playing a decoy. There's no way she's playing a decoy.
Well, we don't know. They haven't confirmed what she's playing. There's no name, so we have no idea.
Which I saw one person. I was just trying to see what the vibe. Everybody seemed to be on board with it. They think it's a crazy. No one expected this to be what it's about. Although I saw one idiot online. I'm not gonna say who, but it was just like they thought, oh, this trailer's sick because it's glorifying pedophiles. And I'm like, do you realize there's no children that are in this movie that are decoys? They're all adults in this movie. Like Skylar is literally like 30 years old playing like a 14-year-old boy to try to like get so they can arrest the guy. Like Skylar's not like, okay, they're not glorifying pedophiles. If people don't understand, if you watch Catch Predator, you're not like, oh, I really can't wait I can't wait to watch the chat logs. You're watching it because you're like, I can't wait to see this piece of shit human being get like
you just can't wait for this piece of shit to get caught. Yeah. And that's the fun part when he gets caught.
He doesn't even know. Half of them don't even know. They think that this guy's just going to shame them, and then they walk out the door. And instead, the cops like, get on the ground. One guy even goes like, one guy just shuts the door. And
if I remember correctly, I feel like that Chris Hansen just reads off the chatter that they chat online.
And it's always, I was coming to make sure that they were okay. I wasn't going to sleep with them at all. I promise.
Well,
that's not what
if there's one thing about this movie that I'm not necessarily looking forward to is the online discourse, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, which I will say that the trailer does make it seem like they care more about the show than they care about actually bringing. Like that's what the way Robert Pattinson sees in that trailer, where he's like, "We're gonna make history," and I'm just like, I hope they don't try to portray Chris Hansen as, "Oh, all I care about is money and ratings and all that stuff." I hope that they don't portray it like that, because that would make me not happy, because I'm like, I do still watch, like, because he does have a new show, like Chris Hansen, where he catches predator. I think it's called On His Own. He has his own network now. It's called, I think, The Takedown with Chris Hansen, where he goes around catching pedophiles. Like, he just caught one in Alabama, recently. A guy was arrested in Alabama, which you got to watch that episode. This guy thinks he's going to meet a mom and daughter, and it's a grown ass woman, and it's two grown ass women, and mom's like, and it's like, oh yeah, don't hurt my daughter now when you go sleep with her. And he goes, oh, I won't. And then he goes in there, and then Chris Hansen shows up, and then he tries to make a run for it. It's a 2-story house, and he thinks about jumping, but he can't, because the cop's like, go ahead, jump. And then he's like, fuck it. And then he comes and gets arrested. It's like, why would you even try? He tries to literally climb up the house, and then he realizes it's a stupid idea. And I'm just like, are you fucking stupid? Like, why would you think that's a good idea?
Coming soon to the channel, To Catch a Talk.
Yeah, so we're not
understand.
here to talk about the episodes. We're talking about the
Yeah,
trailer as a
I know,
whole.
but
Where are you
it's,
looking forward to it?
it's a crazy show if you've never seen it. And I mean, the trailer though is fantastic, and it does. I think it shows, by the way, from what I saw in the trailer, it does show like the backstory of like how Chris Hansen started Catch Predator. Because if you don't know, in the backstory of Chris Hansen, it's even in the documentary Predators. And back, he went to South America, and basically they were like, these underage girls were like child sex prostitutes, and they caught like they were catching, so they put a hidden camera and they caught like people going into the brothel, and they were underage. And so Chris Hansen exposed that, did a journalistic investigation, exposed that, and then had all these people arrested and shut that brothel down. And like he even said, at the airport, all these children came up to me, were thanking me, saying thank you so. And he said he was so in tears. He bought all the little girls ice cream, and then they sent them on their way. And he was just like, and he was, and I hope they show that in the movie, because that honestly would be so to see humanize him as a person rather than just. I just hope they don't villainize him the whole movie, where it's like, oh, we're gonna make ratings and money.
Well, it remains to be seen. But what did you all think of this trailer? Let us know in the comments. And now we go from movies to games, and it's time to talk Wolvie.
The Wolverine. Yeah, the gameplay came out like a week ago, and I really was very impressed. So so far on the details of what this game is going to be, from according to some of the people that interviewed the creators, that this new story details on Insomniac's Wolverine game. The X-Men do not exist in the universe. Mutants live in hiding. Most of the world don't know they exist. Logan is part of the Team X, a group who saves mutants around the world. And the low gore paths are available for people, for anyone who are not into the whole blood splatter and all that fucking like decapitated heads. But I will say that this gameplay trailer that I've seen was definitely went hard. I'm very impressed with the melee combat. We're definitely going to get a lot of stealth with Wolverine, and the way that they've crafted it was so great, and especially the people behind Insomniac. The characters that I was so surprised that they were going to show up is that Jean Grey's actually in this game, and this is the time when the X-Men was not really formed yet. There's no X-Men in this world yet. Right now, the mutants are scattered around the world. They're being rounded up by Trask, who is part of the whole Trask industry. We know that the Sentinels are going to be in it, and Sabretooth made an appearance. I was like, oh god, that's going to be a big part of it. And this is probably around the time when Wolverine left the whole Weapon X program, and he's on the self-discovery, and he's all about.
If you ever wanted to play as the Weapon X program, that is a mission in the game.
Oh yeah. And Liam McIntyre, in case you don't know who Liam McIntyre is, he's the guy who played Spartacus on the show Spartacus on Stars. He's the actor that replaced Andy Whitfield when he passed away and replaced him in the role of Spartacus. But he's done a lot of voice acting in the past, especially with animations like DC. He actually was in another game that he voiced over when he was in Jedi Fallen Order, which played one of the Jedi that went rogue, and I thought that he was absolutely fantastic. And when I found out that he was cast as Wolverine, I was like, yep, I could definitely see it. And when I saw him in the trailer, it was like, dude, he's going to be so ruthless. They're not shying away of any of the violence, any of the blood and gore. It's a full rated M for mature. I'm so excited, especially for the team behind Insomniac that made the Insomniac Spider-Man games. They're so perfectionist when it comes to this, but they definitely confirmed that this is not going to be like an open world like the Spider-Man games. You're like definitely going to explore around. It's sort of like that, but not exactly, because you can still explore around paths around the map, but you're not really going to be doing a whole open world where you can come back any moment in time in the map. That's not the kind of game that you're going to be expecting.
They said the developers when they were doing an interview, they said if you beat the game, you can come back, and like how in Jedi, you can go back and pick up, because there's collectibles in the game and different things to collect and stuff. So they said once you beat the main story, you can go back to this location, like similar how in Indiana Jones you can go back to location.
Yeah. And
so basically,
here's the facts that IGN. Here's the facts about IGN, what they covered. Even though that Spider-Man is set in the same universe, the Web Wonder won't be in the Marvel's Wolverine. He won't be making an appearance. But we know it's still set in the same world. Unlike Insomniac Spider-Man games, you'll always play as Wolverine. No Mary Jane type mission here. So you're not going to do any character swap like you did in the Insomniac Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Nope. You're only gonna play as Wolverine. The game will take you on a globe hopping adventure, but it's not an open world. Don't worry though, the areas will have different paths and rooms for players' agencies. Jumping straight into combat is almost encouraged in this game, but stealth kills can be great for building up your rage meter before going in loud. The Wolverine will be teaming up with Jean Grey and Sabretooth. The Jean team up is more cooperative style with her opening up enemies for Logan, while allying with Sabretooth might look like a competition to see who can get more kills. As a fun little detail, you'll be able to pop Wolverine's claws in and out with a press of the trigger. Unfortunately, you can't just do the middle claw, which means the middle finger. You won't be doing that. I wish they would have. If you're not really into the hyper violence in the game, you can turn off the blood and gore, which for people who are younger, children who wanted to play the Wolverine game, you can turn off the blood and gore as always. The story follows Wolverine after he left Team X. He's on a mission to help mutants around the world. We don't know much else besides that they'll definitely earn its M rating. I can't wait for this game. It comes out on September 15th, and it can't get here fast enough. I will be buying this game fully day one, and I will be playing it all the way through. But I wanted to pass it off to Ryan. I mean, I know I went on a little too long. Have you seen a gameplay trailer? What did you think?
Yes, I have, and it looks unbelievably good. Like, I love the details of this. I love, like, people can stop complaining about how there's no, like, full-on Wolverine suit. Like, he's in the suit now. Like, we can stop. But I like the design of that. It reminds me of one of the Arkham games, and I mean that as a positive. Is like, with all the levels of detail that those games had, and with this game hopefully has, I hope that it keeps that energy up.
And look at the shot right here. When he was getting shot and fucking blown to hell and his skin coming apart, you could see the adamantium on his skull. Like when you see him regenerate, and it looks so fucking good. Even from a detail, from a still shot, it's so good how they were able to do it. And you have to literally butt mash and try to regenerate with a rage meter that you have. So if you don't have enough rage meter and enough kills, your heart will give out. Even if you are indestructible, but they have to try to find a way to add the stakes to Wolverine. But I'm so impressed with it. Insomniac is very perfectionist when it comes to the graphics and the gameplay mechanics, which I am very impressed with it. Even him riding the motorcycle chase, I feel like they haven't shown us a lot about the motorcycle chase. I feel you're definitely going to ride the motorcycle and chase a bunch of goons, and I thought that shot in the trailer was so fucking good. But I wanted to pass it on to Jake. What did you think about this?
I thought it was a good trailer. I am a Wolverine fan. I was kind of worried because I even texted you. I was like, I don't even know, is this game like open world or is it just like a linear game? But then after doing a lot of my own research and everything, it seems like it's not open world, but it's not linear like how you got to go from point A to point B. No, you can actually go explore, and you can go back and play the Jedi games, or even Indiana Jones game, where basically it's like giant open areas is basically what they consider those. And which that's pretty cool because I'm a big fan of that. When I play a game, when I pay money for a game, I want to be able to enjoy the world. I just don't want to go from if I'm just going from like point A to point B without really enjoying the game, like immersing myself, then I'm like, well, what's the point? That's what I like about the new Bond game, where it's like open areas, like, you can go back, like Hitman's open areas, and which I do think, even if this game, the story looks really good. Even if the game wasn't it was just a very straight linear game. It looks a pretty good game, and I think Wolverine fans will be happy with it. And of course, I know they're supposed to do an X-Men game after Wolverine. That's the plan, is to do an X-Men game. I think after this game will be Spider-Man 3.
And here's the pre-order. If you pre-ordered the deluxe edition, you get 5 exclusive Wolverine skins from the comic book look. And I'm pretty sure that somewhere down the line, around the holidays or so, that they're going to add a lot of the legacy Fox's X-Men universe Wolverine skin. I know they're definitely going to 100%.
I just want the leather outfit,
They're gonna do it. They're not gonna do it they won't do it by day one launch, but I know somewhere down the line in the upcoming months later, they'll definitely add it for sure for the
I remember
version. I want the X-Men origin suit from Wolverine, just a wife beater shirt.
Well, he always wears a wife beater shirt in every X-Men movie. I mean, it's not really, he does it in every X-Men movie.
Well, I love how in the Spider-Man
But
games,
yeah,
which are by the same developer, how you could get like the different suits like over time. Like you could get like the Raimi suits, the web suits. Like I think I wore in that game the Raimi suit like an unhealthy amount of times.
And also,
I
like
wear the
I've been waiting for another great Wolverine game because I remember back then when they were doing X-Men Origins Wolverine, the movie, they did a movie tie-in game, and the game itself is very hyper violent and it's far better than the movie itself. If you have not played it, you have to actually get it either on an Xbox 360 or a PS3. That's the only way you can get it. You can only get
I
it
had
on
to pay
physical.
$100
Being
for it on the
You have,
Xbox
yeah,
360.
you have to get it on
being better
physical.
being better than X-Men Origins Wolverine is a bar so low the devil is using it to do a limbo party.
Yeah, and I don't know if they'll make an X-Men game because right now in this version for this Wolverine in this universe, the X-Men's not around. The X-Men hasn't even been formed yet. So it might happen someday, but we don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. But we know that there's gonna be a third Spider-Man game from Insomniac. That's gonna be their top priority for Marvel
Well, I
and
mean,
even
hey,
Sony and for
well,
PlayStation.
we kind of know they
Because you got to
are.
remember, Spider-Man is definitely the more popular, highest IP
Well, to be
for
fair,
even for PlayStation and Sony. What were you saying,
which
Jake?
to be fair, their docu when they sorry that my internet keeps like cutting out on me. Basically when but like didn't they like whenever like the Sony when they got hacked, all their data got leaked online, and they said after Spider-Man 3, X-Men's like 2030 or 2031. And then then after that, like they said, two new IPs, which also it's supposed to be a Venom game, but like the Venom game hasn't come out yet, so I don't know if that
They haven't even made the Venom games yet. The Venom game hasn't even been made. They said that they were going to do it, but I don't know if they're going to move forward with it. I mean, who knows? I hope the Venom game happens, but
I mean,
if you've already seen,
Tony Todd died,
but to be fair, but to be fair, like when you played Spider-Man 2, spoiler alert, Venom is dead. They killed him off in Spider-Man 2, so I don't see them moving forward with the Venom game. I think they had an idea that they were going to do it, but I think it might have had something to do with the passing of Tony Todd because he did voice Venom in the game. Maybe.
Which I said, I just want to.
Also, is there any great demand for a Venom game? Like, really?
Oh no, fans really want a Venom game. They want to see Venom fucking wrecking
I want
shop.
to see Tom Hardy's Venom like going like this, going like mic drop, and have like some Venom 2.
It's bad enough that we.
I mean,
got
don't get me
those
started
movies.
on Tom Hardy's Venom. No, fuck the
I
Tom
wanna
Hardy's
see
It's bad
Venom.
enough that we got 3. Bless them, 3 movies.
That wasn't even a real Venom character. I'm sorry. Because I did not like the Venom movies. They were terrible. They were terrible.
Look,
they didn't do it justice. It was not that fun. It was unwatchable.
You guys don't deserve Venom, okay? You know what?
They didn't even do the proper Venom right. It was just completely a fan fucking fiction of their own.
Yeah, you know what? Eddie Brock and Venom had the best relationship ever. Okay,
they were terrible. It was terrible.
Like eating chair
Here's
chops.
to the ones that we got. Here's to the one.
Oh God.
I will say that the third one, I like the third one, but my issue with the third one is you set up a villain for a 4th movie, and then Tom Hardy beta says, "Oh, we're not making a 4th movie because I don't want to do this movie anymore." And I'm like, well, then why the hell did you even set it up? I mean, I think honestly they were hoping Tom Hardy would have said yes to a 4th movie, which the movie made shitload of money. So I mean, like, I can't believe those movies, unlike the other Sony movies, those movies keep making money. Okay. Like, those were crazy, okay? Like I said, and I kind of really hope that one day we get a Venom 4. But didn't they kill Venom at the end?
Yeah.
Yes. They dropped a bunch
of... Here's the thing. But here's the thing. The movie Venom: The Last Dance was on the budget of 110 million to 120 million on the budget, and it made 478 million worldwide.
That's pretty good.
Well, what did you all?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What did you all think of the Wolverine game?
Wait, 120. Right? It cost 120. Right?
No, it was 120 on the budget. 120 million.
Now,
the third movie made less than what the last movie.
As long as it makes over. Oh shit! Why does sorry guys, my computer keeps fucking up on me.
Well, while he's fixing that,
jump on to the next time. I'm gonna exit out and come back.
Yeah, let's let's talk
Come on,
about the
Lex Luthor.
Man of Tomorrow, Matt.
Hold on, give me a minute. I gotta catch the story. Where is it? There it is. All right. Let me share the screen. Give me a minute. I know it's taking a little bit long. Yeah, now we get a first look at Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor in a Kryptonite war suit. Well, his war suit for the first time. And I will say that this looks really dope. Very comic book accurate look.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor is not messing around in the Superman sequel. Director James Gunn has revealed a first look at the villain's iconic war suit worn by Nicholas Holt as production on the Man of Tomorrow sequel is underway. And this is the quote from James Gunn when he took to his social media. He said, "Fit check, live from the set of Man of Tomorrow." In DC Comics, Lex Luthor builds several ultra powerful weaponized suits of armor to level the playing field with Superman. They give him superhuman strength, flight, force fields, and range of other powers. Based on the photo, it appears Lex won't stay in prison for long and potentially travels to a sandy planet in outer space. Gunn returns to the director's chair in the DC sequel, which will put Holt's villain in David Cornsweet's Man of Steel against intergalactic foe Brainiac, played by Lars Endinger. Superman is forced to team up with his greatest nemesis to defeat the super smart cyborg in Man of Tomorrow, due in theaters on July 9th, 2027. The returning stars from the sequel include Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, Skylar Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen, Sarah Sampaio as Eve Tessmacher, Isabel Merced as Hawkgirl, Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern, member Guy Garner, and Andy Gaddagy as Mr. Terrific. Millie Alcock, who had a cameo in Superman's cousin, Kara Zor-El, will be back for Man of Tomorrow after she headlines this summer DC's tentpole Supergirl. The sequel will also introduce Aaron Pierre to the big screen as the Green Lantern member John Stewart, who is debuting in the HBO Max series Lanterns. I will say that I'm impressed with the look of the design of that suit. And according to James Gunn, he took to his social media page on Threads and confirming that this is 100% practical. And obviously, when we see him fight against Superman or Brainiac in the movie, they're obviously going to add some CG fights. They're kind of pulling off that same formula that reminded me in the original Iron Man movie, when you see Tony Stark's doing a stand-in of the suit that they had to build from scratch. And then when you see him getting into the fight with Jeff Bridges' character, Globodine, they all obviously added some CG fights. But I've seen a lot of set videos of him walking around in that suit, and I don't know how in the fuck did he be able to walk in that suit. I don't know the mechanism under that thing. That's just so insane. And you see a little bit of the glimpse of Superman and Lex Luthor duking it out a bit, and I thought that was pretty dope. But I want to pass along to Ryan. What did you think about the first look of Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor in a war suit?
It looks phenomenal. Like, I remember playing Injustice Gods Among Us for the first time, and I remember seeing that suit, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's Lex Luthor in there? And sure enough, it was. And I was like, there's no way that they'd be able to, because, you would think with that, it'd be like, okay, it's just he's going to be in the suit, or not like in a tailored suit, like a tuxedo kind of thing. Is like, and that's all. But no. Here we are in big 2026. We are looking at Nicholas Holt actually in that thing, and someone built it with their own two hands. So regardless of the quality of the film, I hope it's good. Regardless of the quality of the film, James Gunn deserves all the praise in the world for saying, you know what, we're building it. That's what we're gonna do.
And if you see the logo on the chest, that's from Argus, because Argus obviously built it, and they're getting him out of prison for terms of helping out with the government. And when you see in Peacemaker season 2, he had to be able to help out that interdimensional portal that Peacemaker has caused, and then they want to use that. And we know Lex Luthor's goons are now taking over Argus, and it seems to me that this is his way to getting out of prison and breaking free. And I thought that was a great idea. How you're going to get him out of it. And I have a feeling that the tone of the movie is going to be a little bit more dark and a little bit more Empire Strikes Back level. And they already got a different cinematographer to work on the movie. And I trust James Gunn because I loved the first Superman movie. I love the start of it, and where it's going to go next. And I can't wait to see Brainiac come to life. Now I'm curious to see how Brainiac's going to look on screen because they haven't shown him yet. We only they only showed us a little glimpse of Superman, David Cornsweet on set when they were doing night scenes. I thought that scene looked really good. And seeing it in the context of them duking it out, it may seem that may be the beginning of the movie. And I feel like that he's going to approach Superman and telling him that there's going to be a greater threat, but Superman's not going to listen to him, and he beats the shit out of him. Doing that whole 1A move.
I also look forward to seeing what Lex does to get himself out of prison.
What did you think, Jake? What did you think about the first look?
This is what I thought.
Come on, man, that's garbage.
Stop playing.
You're full of shit, Jake.
Yeah. Oh no, this I actually was.
You know what? Here's the thing. One thing that this is his.
In my pants.
That's more
Actually,
like it.
I was suggesting this one.
What? Oh my god! Like,
Never gets old.
But I honestly, I think the script is fantastic. The suit is fantastic. The people are making jokes online. He looks like Buzz Lightyear. But
I saw that too when he was putting that bolt, that fishbowl thing on his head to cover up, and they're like, yeah, and they post on social media look like a Buzz Lightyear.
It's supposed to look like that in the comics. That's comic accurate.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of iterations of the Warsuit in comics that have been done. Some of them looked slimmer, and one of them looked bulkier than the others.
There's some people online that don't like it because I want him to look more like Iron Man's suit. I'm like, why though?
That's not the point. That is not the point. Like, Iron Man
here's
suits
if
and Lex
they
Luthor
did
suits are completely different things.
Let's just say if they did, people would still bitch saying, "Oh, he looks like a ripoff from Green Iron Man."
Exactly. They'd be like, James Gunn, MCU, we should find the villain. And I'm just like, and what reality, okay, is Lex Luthor? That's how he looks in the comics. He should look like that in the comics. He's not Iron Man, okay. And
he's definitely working. He's definitely working for Argus. I mean, because you know that he didn't find a way to work out a deal.
Let's be real. There's going to be YouTube channels of the nerdrotic variety who are already like farming 6 months worth of James Gunn is a hack comments based on this picture alone.
Yeah, which some people are like, "Oh, is the suit new?" And I'm like, "Not really. It's the same."
No,
suit.
He did say James Gunn did say that it's not entirely the same.
They tweaked it like from an editing standpoint where they pressed up a little bit.
I'm not surprised.
Some, and that's it. And they tucked it in some more.
Yeah.
That's
it's just more tweaked. It's way more updated version, but it's still the same suit.
It's the same suit in terms of like, would you look at it and notice any difference? No. It's not like Amazing Spider-Man to Amazing Spider-Man 2 where that's a completely different suit, you know? And to which, doesn't he look like Henry Cavill in a way, like with that longer hair? Doesn't look
when
like
he had the longer hair, he definitely looks like Henry Cavill.
Remember how Man of Steel he had that type of hair, and I'm like, I kind of dig the new.
I would arguably say like, oh yeah, he looks like Henry Cavill. No, he just looks like Superman, just like with Henry Cavill, looks like Superman. Christopher Reeve looks like Superman. I mean, yeah, they had some like resemblance look because they look like Superman.
See, I don't know how hot of a take this is going to be, but here it goes. They have yet to miss with the Superman casting, like Reeve, Henry Cavill, Brendan Routh, Tyler Hoechlin, David Cornsweet. They've all been hits.
Yeah, they've all been hits. I wouldn't say it's a hot take. I mean, I completely agree with you 100%. They've all been hit. I mean, Tom Welling, you can already say that he was Superman-ish, but this is a pre-Superman. But all of them have been hit out of the park.
I even like Patrick Wilson when he voiced Superman in Death of Superman and Reign of the Supermen.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
I mean, Dean Cain. I mean, look at him. I mean, like he
Dean Cain. Yeah.
I mean, I was, Matt hates Dean Cain. He's like, fuck Dean Cain. Superman sucks. Lois and Clark sucks.
I mean,
dear Lord.
I mean, I didn't hate the show. It's a good show, but I didn't love it. I couldn't binge it all the way through for that show.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm to side with Matt. I only have one thing. I'm not saying the show's shit, but I did not finish season 1.
Yeah, I only watched several episodes of season 1. They were decent, but it's like, do I really need to watch Clark Kent and Lois doing their investigating with not much of Superman in that show?
I love Terry Hatcher. I think Terry Hatcher is a great Lois Lane, and I like him as Superman. But I'm like, I
mean,
kind of was like,
I may not like him as a person, but at least he did a decent job of what he had gotten for the role at the time.
which let me ask you this: Do you think that this movie, okay, is overcrowded? Like in terms, there's a
Well, that's
lot
what
of people.
okay, first of all, are we really going to go back to that well again? You said we said that people said the same thing for the first Superman movie.
But
Is
there's
it
way
too
more
over?
people
Is
in this
is it
movie
too is it
than
too overcrowded? Is it too overcrowded? No, it's just how you handle them, and they're the supporting characters that service the main characters. The main characters is Lex and Superman. The only difference is that the reason why you feel that way
There's
is
more people in this
because
movie.
you know who these people are. No shit that there's gonna be you feel
There's
like it's
more
gonna feel
people in this
overcrowded.
movie than there are in Batman versus Superman.
Well, you said the same thing for the first Superman movie. So why I don't know why we keep going back to that well again. Like
Well, I just don't want
it's
like.
too
'Cause, I mean, you're gonna
overcrowded.
have to. You can't like if everybody has enough screen five. Like if everyone has 45.
I mean,
minutes
look
of
at the
screen,
Justice Game. How much screen time did they get? Not as much as you expected. The only one that has
I
the
mean,
most screen time is definitely Mr. Terrific. He was the only one that has the most screen time out of all the three of them.
all right, we'll wait. I just want to
It
see.
really just depends on how much you're going to use them in the movie.
I just want to see a badass Brainiac. I want him to be scary. I want him to look like evil. I want him to look like something like a demon.
Well, it's not like they're going to make him a goofy, campy character that you think
No,
he
I'm
is.
just saying. What I mean by that is, I want him to look scary. I'm just hoping that they don't just paint the actor green and then just put some wires on the back of his head and like a couple of dots.
I'm pretty sure that they're going to make him more of a comic book accurate of Brainiac.
I want him to look like similar to the way he looked on Krypton, the show Krypton, where he looks like alienish, like almost.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be like, "Oh, hey, Superman." No, I think he's going to have a strong, distinctive voice to be more menacing and more frightening, because the whole theme of the movie, even the first Superman movie, the theme of it was showing the humanity of kindness. Now in Man of Tomorrow, this is more AI versus humanity, and how much that we rely on AI technology and how much we're losing our humanity of everything. And I feel like that's what this movie is going to be.
My biggest fear is I just don't want him to look like RoboCop painted green.
Oh,
But what
yeah,
did you all think of the Man of Tomorrow image? Let us know in the comments. Love to read what you have to say.
We love you guys too, by the way. We just want to point that out to our viewers. We love you.
Yes. But now we go from Metropolis to New York, if there is any difference in that whatsoever.
What's the next one? I forgot the next topic.
the Zack
Escape
Snyder
from New York.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna take a leak while you guys. I'll be right back.
Don't fall in. But
Oh god, it's stuck in the toilet now.
anyway,
some folks may have heard that Snake Plissken is dead, but Zack Snyder is not one of them. The singular filmmaker behind 300 and Zack Snyder's Justice League has come on board to write and direct a reimagining of Escape from New York, the classic dystopian action movie from John Carpenter that introduced audiences to the cool eye patch wearing, cobra tatted anti-hero, sources tell The Hollywood Reporter. The feature project is being put together and will be taken out of the market, taken out to market in the coming weeks, and marks the first concrete steps of getting an Escape from New York movie up and going in years. And the intent is to release the feature theatrically, according to the sources. The picture company partners Andrew Rana and Alex Heineman will produce through their overall deal with Studio Canal, which, along with Carpenter, controls the underlying rights to the property. Snyder will also produce alongside his Stone Quarry production company partners Deborah Snyder and Wesley Collar. Carpenter is also involved with updates, serving as an executive producer. Studio Canal had no comment. The original 1981 movie was set in the future, then 1997, where Manhattan had been turned into an island-sized maximum security prison when the president of the United States crash lands into the decaying city with sensitive information that could change the world. Former military hero turned outlaw Plissken is concerned into rescuing man and has to face Gaines, the army, and ex-associates in order to survive. So what do you think about this news about Zack Snyder being involved in this whole reimagining Escape from New York?
I am very nervous because on the one hand, I like Zack Snyder as a director. As a writer, we can talk about that if we want to, but that's a completely different story. I love the original Escape from New York. It is a phenomenal piece of business. Like Kurt Russell, Lee Van Cleef, rest in peace. Isaac Hayes, rest in peace. Like
Donald Pleasance.
John Carpenter going kind of against type, doing a sci-fi dystopian film. Which like couldn't see that one coming, but it just worked. And I mean, just Snake Plissken is just the most badass movie character of all time, just based on looks alone. So I am quite nervous about this, but I'm also sort of kind of optimistic. That's where I stand on it. I'm in between.
Jake, what about you?
Well, like adding on to what Ryan said, yes, Escape from New York is a masterpiece, and Zack Snyder literally love him as a director, writer. That's where I kind of because I mean Army of the Dead and the what's it called, the fucking Star Wars
Rebel
football.
Moon.
Rebel Moon. You know, we're not the best, and of course, like, you know, some people critique Batman versus Superman and Justice League. I think Man of Steel is fantastic. I mean, Dawn of the Dead's fantastic, and 300 and Watchmen. So I mean, yeah, I mean, like you could argue like Sucker Punch and like the Owl movie he made, and like Army of the Dead and the Rebel Moon are terrible movies, but I think
Legend of the Guardians is not terrible. I actually think that movie's really good.
I mean, look, okay, let's agree to disagree on that. I will say, out of all those I just named, it's better than all of those, yes, but you know, but still not very good in comparison.
Collins, whenever he has to talk about anything animated or black and white, get off me, don't touch me, get off me, don't touch me, get off me.
I like The Emperor's New Groove. I like Toy Story 1 and 2 and 3.
Revolutionary stuff right there.
You know what? Fuck you, man. But it's you know, which
Matt
you know
didn't
what?
say anything.
I said, you know, I'm talking. Sorry, Ryan. I meant Ryan. Fuck you. So of course I happen to say it to Matt. But I will say this though. Ryan has a point though about when you have Zack Snyder. Okay, he, you know, I mean, Zack Snyder's a great director, and I will say this: Carpenter cast Kurt Russell, someone who was not an action star. Okay, and I think you need to. So Zack Snyder's going to have to cast somebody that's not an action star. We need to cast someone that's like the manliest of men. Okay, you know who we should cast? Elliot Page. I was just building up that joke. I was building up all the time. But no,
you know what? The next time you have a thought, let it go.
Well, Piers Morgan's people are going to be calling us tomorrow because of you.
Yeah, that was a funny joke. I was waiting for my turn just like to make that joke. But I do think though everything. But besides what I just said there, but everything else I agree with. Like Zack Snyder is a fantastic director, and I think honestly, whoever he casts as Snake Plissken, whether it be Pedro Pascal or Dave Bautista or Ben Affleck or you know for all we know, he could cast he could gender swap the roles and cast Sofia Vergara or Gal Gadot. And look, I'm all for it. Zack Snyder is known to be a badass director, and I'm sure we're gonna get slow motion shots of Snake Plissken getting shot, going pew 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 pew. And there's going to be a lot of slow motion shot. It's going to be a kick-ass opening credit sequence and everything. And my only thing is, what if there's a change? What if they change one crucial thing? Instead of it gangs in New York, what if it's zombies?
No.
We already got that. It's called Army of the Dead, and it was.
But what if it's like
we had Dawn of the Dead. We had Dawn of the Dead and Army of the Dead.
What if they change it? Like, what if it's like he got to go to the president's Air Force crash? These guys
are you really trying to make this into more of the fucking sequel of Army of the Dead, except it's being Las Vegas as in New York, dude? You were really getting far off the fucking theory, dude.
You don't think Zack Snyder's probably gonna think about that? Like,
he ain't gonna think about that. That's what you want to think. That says a lot about you, Jake.
I don't.
He's a tad biased. That
no shit. But for my thoughts in here, look. We already know that he's already tackling to direct the film, but they did not confirm that he's going to be writing it because we all know he's not a great writer. He's only a great as a director. He's a great visual storyteller. I'm someone who's a big Zack Snyder fan. I loved mostly all of his movies aside from the Netflix movies, except for Sucker Punch. But I loved Man of Steel, masterpiece. Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Cut was pretty decent. The Snyder Cut of Justice League, definitely a banger movie, was definitely everything I wanted. 300, fucking amazing. He's only great when he's directing an adaptation of an existing material. His original movies, he cannot direct a fucking original movie to save his life. I'm sorry to say this, with all due respect to Zack Snyder. I just think him directing an original movie is not his strong suit. But when it comes to the Escape from New York and doing a whole reimagining of this movie, I think I'm going to be open to that possibility. And this is not going to be done from Netflix. Netflix is not going to be picking it up. It's still done by the different studio, like Studio Canal. And I believe that it's from the same people that did the original, that were part of this whole original Escape from New York.
How can Zack Snyder remake Escape from New York when he's supposed to restore the Snyderverse soon?
Boy.
That's when I was so bummed. Like, he's supposed to restore the Snyderverse, man. You don't understand.
Please don't, for the love of everything. What I will say, what I want to say is that what I would like to say is that one of the more crucial elements of this is who they cast as Snake Plissken. I feel like that's going to be, like, we know who the director is, it's Snyder, but now we need to know who's going to be Snake. If they get the right person to play Snake, I think we'll be okay.
Remember when Lee Whannell was going to direct it? Remember, it was supposed to be John Bernthal.
Honestly, that's not that bad of a choice.
Yeah,
but then he'll probably be definitely typecast as a Punisher style in Escape from New York.
Just he was cast back in like 2015 or 16. He was like, but then
nothing necessarily wrong with typecasting if it works.
What about Jason Momoa?
Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if they want to go for a veteran, which it makes sense to have a veteran character that has been through a lot and hates the fucking government and he's the anti-hero. Yeah, Jason Momoa would definitely fit the role as the character.
You know who'd be great? I'm about to blow you guys away. You know who'd be a great one? Alan Richardson.
Oh yeah.
I'm not against that. I'm not against it. If he's cast, like, okay, awesome. I'm down for that one.
Okay.
Honestly, people would right there would sell the movie right there. Alan Richardson.
I mean, I needed to have a lot of thought process of who I would think that would be great. What about Henry Cavill? I think Henry Cavill would definitely be fucking awesome.
I don't think that he would do it. I just don't think he would.
I mean, he's already doing the Highlander movie. I mean, he's doing that is much more dark, and I feel like him being that, I wouldn't hold off that one too.
I think he respects Zack Snyder, but I don't think he wants to work with Zack Snyder again.
How can he be so sure about that?
Well, because apparently they said there's a lot of beef between them two for years. That was one reason why.
I didn't hear about them having a beef.
Yeah, I didn't know about it either until I was reading about it. It says, yeah, apparently when all the actors were putting, released the Snyder cut, Henry wasn't. The reason why is because he's not really. Him and Zack aren't close. I think the only time they actually patched their relationship up. Whenever they announced the Snyder cut, because whenever they announced,
he's the one who jumped in and announced for the Snyder cut during the Zoom meeting during the watch party Man of Steel.
Yeah, that's when they they came apparently the day before they even shot that thing.
But who reported that whole that outlet of that story? Who reported it?
Rap or Variety, one of the two said that.
Yeah.
They said Henry and Zack are not being close. In fact, they were actually used to getting arguments on set of when they were shooting the movies because Henry had a vision. Henry wanted to make it more like the Christopher Reeve Superman.
He wanted to be more of the hopeful, joyful Superman, and they just weren't on the same page.
Yeah, and Zack wanted to make it. No, that's old. I want to make it new, like how this is because he said because Zack's mind is he's not Superman yet. When he dies and comes back, that's when he becomes more like the Christopher Reeve.
Yeah,
that's how Zack saw the character. Like he's which, that's fine. I mean, look, I kind of see it that way too in a way. When he dies and comes back, he's different, compared to what he was before, Which, honestly, he's only been Superman for a year in that movie. But I do think Henry Cavill, would be a good choice.
Especially 2.5 years from that time. Yeah.
But I think Henry Cavill would be great. I think, honestly, I could see Affleck doing it over Cavill.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I love Affleck, but I just don't see him as that character. I just don't see him the right fit for that. I know he can do some great action. I know because I've seen him in the Accountant movies. I thought he was fucking awesome in that movie. Yes. And the movie that he did with Matt Damon, The Rip, which that was a very underrated action thriller that was on Netflix. That he was really great in that movie. I mean, who knows? I wouldn't fall out of my chair if he did get cast as that character because I think he will do a decent job. But I just don't know if he would fit that role.
What about if it's Pedro Pascal?
Oh dear God. Okay.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, hey, if he's great fit, and I think he's great in anything he does. I don't care if he gets cast either way.
All right, I'm cutting you off with that one. What did you What do you think of this news? Who do you think should be Snake Plissken? Let us know in the comments. Now
Okay,
to
for the oh no, go on, Ryan. Sorry about that.
to round things off for main topics, let's head to Oak Street. I'm sure everything's going just fine over there.
Yeah, they're trying to survive against dinosaurs. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. The end of Oak Street began with a lifelong love of dinosaurs and one every simple idea. A few years ago, I was walking through our neighborhood in Michigan, just walking down the street, and I was passing by the garage with a chain link fence and garbage cans. Director David Robert Mitchell tells Entertainment Weekly, and I was struck by the image of it'd be really interesting if there was a dinosaur right there. The director of It Follows, Enter, could see it clearly in his mind of a prehistoric creature emerging around the trash or inside the garage. It would be a perfect merging of something fantastical and mundane middle class suburb. So he wrote the script. Now, ahead of the new trailer arriving Monday, EW is providing an advanced look at the results of the mysterious action-packed thriller about what happens when dinosaurs disrupt the simplicity of everyday suburbia. We got our first look at the trailer, and I wanted to give I want you pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about that second trailer of the end of Oak Street?
I am a fan. I'm a fan of this concept. I love me some dinosaurs. I mean, Jurassic Park's one of my all-time favorites, so come on. Like, you had me there. All I'm saying is that I'm just glad that we're getting some dinosaur-related media that's not Jurassic Park. I refuse to call it Jurassic World just based on principle, and I stand on business on that. All that I will say is that it could be just lukewarm, and it could be better than all three Jurassic World movies combined. And that's all I have to say about that.
Jake, what did you think?
Well, first off, Jurassic World rocks. Okay.
No, it doesn't.
The
No,
other
it doesn't.
three do not.
Well, which one?
The first one, Jurassic World.
No, it
2015.
doesn't.
Yes, it does. Okay, that's
No.
a good movie. The two best Jurassic Park movies is the first one and Jurassic World. The rest are iffy.
Incorrect.
You know, Ryan's like,
I mean, the first Jurassic World was basically The Force Awakens.
Exactly. That's why I liked it.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I really liked it. It was the better out of the three Jurassic World with the Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard.
Jurassic Park is an all-timer. Lost World.
No, I
is
agree with
good,
you,
but
dude.
it's
I
not
agree.
great.
But here's the
Jurassic
thing,
Park
I'm
3 is misunderstood, and all the world movies are awful.
I will agree that we can all agree the original one is a masterpiece, and you're never going to
Yes.
top that.
I don't think
for
there's an
original one.
insane person out there besides my buddy Dave that thinks that all the that drinks Jurassic Park is not the best one.
If anyone, I'm not going to be surprised, but there may be people out there that think that it's better than the original. I'm sorry, you've been smoking crack. I don't know who you are.
My buddy Dave would have that hot take. Okay, he would have that. Oh, he thinks Dial of Destiny is better than the Temple of Doom.
Oh my God!
I'm like, oh, come on, Dave.
Come on, bro. Come on. You got to be trolling. You got to be rage baiting us.
Dave loves to be like the odd guy out. He's awesome, though. He's awesome.
Anyway, I got us down this road. I'll get us back onto it. But end of Oak Street, like I said, all it needs to be is just be tolerable, and like I think it will clean up.
It just feels to me that it feels like they're stuck in a Jurassic World style in a suburban area. And it feels like that either one, JJ or Spielberg would direct that type of movie. Even
it
though
feels like
JJ,
Abrams more than Spielberg.
It feels a little bit more Abrams. Like even though this is
where I get the vibe. That's what I get.
Yeah, because Super 8 was basically a blatant ripoff from E.T. and Goonies.
Do you know who the composer is?
And it rocked, though.
John Williams.
No,
John Williams. I thought it was John Williams who did the
Michael Giacchino, it says. Right
Michael Giacchino. Yeah, Michael Giacchino is the score of that
Bad
movie.
Robot. It's produced by J.J. Abrams, and it's
that makes sense.
And I was going to say, it feels like Super 8. This feels like Super 8, but with dinosaurs. That's what it feels like to me when I'm watching.
I don't know. I mean, I like the second trailer, but I'm not totally blown away. It kind of feels a little bit more action heavy, and it feels a little bit more silly. Because in the first teaser, it looked more of a sci-fi horror movie. And it kind of now, I mean, once we see the movie, I might feel differently. It might be better than the second trailer itself. I'm still going to be curious to check that out. And you have the director of It Follows, which I still have not watched It Follows, which developed a lot of cult following of the horror
apparently
movies.
This movie was shot like 2 years ago.
Oh, really? I had no idea that they shot this 2 years ago.
Yeah, this was shot like in 2022.
But hey, if It's dinosaurs. There's going to be some dinosaur action. and I love the cast. I love Anne Hathaway and Hugh McGregor.
If it gets great reviews, I could easily see this movie being the #1 movie of the summer.
Yes.
I don't know, because they know it's not a Jurassic World movie. It's not part of the Jurassic universe.
But I mean, people love dinosaurs. Okay, if you see dinosaurs in a
With that one dinosaur movie that came out a year ago, I don't remember. Primitive War. That movie came out, and that was a dinosaur movie. I don't see that movie winning any money.
Yeah, but to be fair,
sorry,
it wasn't
what primitive what?
I was like,
I think it was
thought you were talking the Adam Driver movie 43.
No, it was a one dinosaur action.
65?
Yeah,
Yeah, that movie was garbage.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
if you make a good movie, okay, if this movie, a family in the suburbs while dinosaurs are there killing everybody, who would not take their kid to see that? If you tell me, hey, you want to go watch Spider-Man or you want to go watch this cool movie with dinosaurs?
Yeah, this is
I'll
a
take
movie
my
called.
kid to
This
see the
movie is
dinosaurs.
called Primitive War. It was an action thriller with dinosaurs. It was an R-rated action.
Was it a
thriller.
direct-to-video film or something? Because
No, it went to theaters. It went to theaters in a theatrical release. Yeah, because it fell under the radar. It wasn't well marketed either.
Well, this is made by a real studio. This is made made with real cast. This actually will see the light of day, unlike Primitive War, where it feels like you put someone like 50
And that movie was like nearly like a
probably.
$7 million. It was like a $7 million budget, and it made like $1 million for Primitive War. Had dinosaurs. I don't see anybody rushing out to see that movie.
Yeah, that's eggs. That's like you're comparing eggs to like freaking.
Yeah, but it's a
vegan eggs, okay?
dinosaur.
These are two
That's the
different
argument I'm trying to make here. That's what you're saying. Oh, well, it's dinosaurs. People will go see it. Yeah, well, this movie had a lot of dinosaurs. I don't see anybody rushing out it.
Okay. Now, if you would have said 65,
you
I
need
would
to
probably
take
like,
into
well,
account
yeah,
that
but
65 was terrible.
Well, no, this is not the name 65. It's called
Yeah.
Primitive War. That's the name of the movie.
Yeah, well, I'm saying Primitive War is like, like I honestly keep thinking that it sounds like a Sci-Fi Channel movie, the Primitive War. But look, hey, here's the thing: if the movie's marketed well and it's got great reviews, I think it can make a lot of money. Okay, because
I think it will make a lot of
honestly,
money, but I just don't see this being a $1 billion hit. Because I could see audience saying, "Oh yeah, they ripped this off from Jurassic Park movies." Yeah, this is a
I can see
blatant
it making
ripoff.
800.
I could see this
I can
making
see it
at least
getting up to
600. I think it would be like 600.
I was saying 8. I just think that we're sleep, especially the release date's so good. It has a great release date, August.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, that has
it's supposed to come out in August, so that's like near the end of the summer.
Yeah, and that has nothing to go out against it. So it's like you could stay #1 for weeks.
Hey, look, I
because
hope this movie's good. I just hope the movie's best. I'm not shitting on it. I think even though if the movie turns out to be great, the financial is something that they got to worry about the most from WB.
The only thing I think it has to compete with is the Ice Cream Man, which I think, the Ice Cream Man, it's got like, oh my God, the Ice Cream Man might wipe it out, man. But no, I don't.
Well,
think
if it's an R-rated, I highly doubt they'll take the family to see Ice Cream Man.
Mom,
Yeah.
let's go watch the Ice Cream Man movie.
And they realize what the movie really is. I could see that happening. That shit would be funny. That would be so fucking hilarious. Just watch them just get scarred from life, and they thought they were watching a family movie of an Ice Cream Man.
I think Warner Brothers could see this as their next weapon, though. Like it's like the end of Oak Street, because this is a movie because they're trying to repeat the same business pattern as last year. Well, like we got a movie in August that turned out to be a big hit. We tried to have a big movie in May, but that fell flat on our ass.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Weapons come out in August? I don't
Weapons
remember.
came out in August, and it was
It did.
So they're trying to hope an End of Oak Street will be their weapons this year. That will open out big, and it'll stay #1 until September. And I could see it happening if the movie's good. If the movie's terrible, then I think it might get 2 weekends in #1, and then it'll probably
Because even when that trailer came out, I don't hear anybody talking about the End of Oak Street. Nobody's talking about that movie.
I always think they should change the title. Originally, it's actually called something else, but why don't we just call it Dinosaurs at the End of Oak Street?
I don't know. That sounds too on the nose.
Or
Yeah.
Dinosaurs in Oak Street, Yeah, because it was supposed to be called like Oak Street Lane or whatever it was supposed to be called, and then they changed it to the End of Oak Street, which this movie looks fantastic. I'm so excited for it. I think we're all sleeping on this movie. Okay, we are all sleeping on it. This movie's gonna be a huge.
I know I'm fully well aware that this is coming out, but I feel like the casual audiences are sleeping on it.
I mean, to be fair, everybody thought everybody was sleeping on Weapons, and then Weapons came out.
Not really, no, because they fully were aware of the whole Barbarian movie that became a hit at the time when it came out.
But I mean, look at we could even say Barbarian. Barbarian, everybody thought nothing of Barbarian, then that turned out to be a big movie. So I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, this movie, it could come out and it could flop. People, which the only thing that scares me about it, this movie was made 3 years ago. Why would it sit on a shelf for 3 years? That's what scares me.
Yeah, that's the only thing that scares me. If you sit this on a shelf, I don't know if that's a good sign.
That tells me that there's something wrong. Why would you sit it on the shelf for 3 years?
Did they not have confidence in that movie?
Maybe it's because maybe all this the dinosaurs. Maybe that's not about dinosaurs. Maybe it's about climate change or something, or maybe it's very political, or maybe that turns out the dinosaurs are like.
Well, I don't really. It's about the climate. The whole suburban street got moved into the prehistoric time, and there's no answers yet because we know there's going to be an answers when we see the movie.
Yeah. So I mean, who knows? I'd be shocked if the dinosaurs aren't the main baddies, and it's just some.
Well, we've seen a lot of dinosaurs murdering a lot of people in that fucking suburban neighborhood. There's a lot of kills. There's a lot of body count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I pass it off to all of you. What did you think of the End of Oak Street trailer? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for sticking around with us for the whole stream. And now let's get to Collins's favorite segment by a country mile.
We still got one more segment left.
Yeah, we got to cover one more segment, and I want to talk about the X-Men 97 season 2 trailer.
Okay.
Apocalypse has arrived. X-Men 97 season 2 gets a first trailer revealing the beloved animated series will return to Disney Plus this July 1st. The footage goes big on Ed Sabador, the ancient mutant who's back in the big way as the prime adversary of the new episodes. After the events of season 1, the X-Men are trapped at different points in time. Xavier, Magneto, Rogue, Nightcrawler, and Beast were transported to Egypt in the year 3000 BC at the start of Apocalypse's reign. Jean Grey and Cyclops were sent deep into the future to the year 3960 AD, where they have one big Summers family reunion with their children, which is Nathan Summers, which will be Cable. Storm, Wolverine, and Morph are currently unaccounted for, but the season 2 trailer gives us a glimmers of their Avengers, including what might be a Phoenix Force version of Wolverine's Wind Rider, as well as morphing into Deadpool. As to quote from the executive producers, Larry Houston, as to where they pop up next, that's a fun reveal. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. The original series director teases the Entertainment Weekly. It's now up to Bishop and Forge to bring them all back before Apocalypse can strike the X-Men at their most vulnerable in the 90s timeline. Eric and Julia Lillard, two of the premier primary show writers and producers of the original X-Men animated series, served as a consultant producers on season 1 of the sequel show, and now hold the title of executive producers with Houston for X-Men 97 season 2. All three teased the impending events in interviews with EW. In a joint interview with Eric, Julia calls the new episodes a funhouse mirror of their X-Men animated series season 2, which saw Xavier and Magneto in a similar scenario, trapped in a savage land while the rest of the main team were off on their own. You have the fun of playing with very specific groups of X-Men together, trying to figure out how to get where they need to go, she says. With all the history hijinks, viewers will meet various versions of Apocalypse across these timelines. And in ancient Egypt, he's still trying to figure out who he is. You're not even sure if he's a bad guy. This is going to Apocalypse in a middle school and seeing what was going on in his head, and he started to sense who he was. So anyway, that my thoughts on this season 2 trailer, I think it was a total banger. I'm a fan of X-Men 97 season 1. I thought it was definitely like the best X-Men adaptation in any medium. I actually enjoyed them more than the movies. As much as I love some of the movies in the Fox's X-Men universe, I think that X-Men 97 really did it justice. The people who have done the show knew the assignment, and I actually grew up on watching the animated series of the 1990s of X-Men, and this is supposed to be the whole revival of the show, of the sequel. And I've binge watched all the episodes leading up to X-Men 97, and this is actually better than the original series. This one is going to get more deeper. This is definitely going to be a battle across time with the Apocalypse, and I can't wait to see how Apocalypse is going to be done right. And this is definitely going to be a far better version of Apocalypse than we saw in the Fox's X-Men Apocalypse, which that was the one they did him dirty. But it looks like it's going to be more epic and more dark and more like chaotic in the comic book lore in the X-Men universe. But that's my thoughts on it. And it's going to be coming out in July 1st. We're definitely going to get a couple of Marvel projects, especially with 97 and now with Spider-Man Brand New Day at the end of July. It's going to be a crazy month on July. But I want to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about this trailer?
Yeah, it looked great. I kind of slept on X-Men 97, I'm not gonna lie. I watched it, I'm like, okay, it's cool. Like I wasn't a huge tremendous fan of it. I will rewatch it to prepare for this because I'm like, yeah, maybe I definitely did sleep on. Like the first couple years of the 2020s were real comic book movie fatigue for me, so that's probably why. But overall, love this trailer. I thought this was I think this is going to be really good stuff.
Yeah, and the showrunner that did the creator of the show of X-Men 97, Bayu DeMaio, yeah, he did the first 2 seasons. He written all these episodes in season 2, but then he got fired off the show. I believe it was because that he had OnlyFans account. And I think that was probably the main reason why they wanted to take him off that show. And they've already written season 3 and 4. They're already in development and they're already working on the 3rd season. So they're full ahead, and they said that they're going to be coming out I believe annually, so that way you don't have to wait a couple more years for a new season, because the last season 1 I think was like back in 2024 when we last had the first season. I rewatched the first season of 97. I still think it is a banger show. I think you should definitely rewatch it. Now you can binge watch the entire season. The further you get, the more deeper, the more darker and more edgier it gets. It's so fucking good. I loved it. But Jake, what did you think about the X-Men 97 season 2 trailer, if you're still here?
Oh, I'm still here. All right. Sorry, I didn't know my cameras. I will say this, okay? I thought it was a fine trailer. I mean, I love season 1 of X-Men 97. Season 1 is so good. I did binge rewatch all the X-Men before season X-Men 97, and I will say we had some banger shows that year. Okay, we had Batman, the Caped Crusader, we had X-Men 97. I think we even had that Spider-Man show.
Yeah, we had that Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I was surprisingly loved it. I watched the whole show, season 1.
It's really good.
I was not expecting anything when I saw the marketing. I was like, what? I don't know. I'm going to like it. But then I watched it, hooked. And we're already going to get a season 2, and I can't wait for that one.
Which I'm hoping the show, because the trailer didn't wow me, but I mean, I'm hoping it's a good show, because like, here's the thing, I'm still going to watch it. And I'm excited, In fact, I ordered Cyclops Visor from X-Men 97 season 2, online. So I mean, I'm gonna sit, when's it come out?
July 1st. That's when it comes out. Season 2.
So I might be getting my visor around that time. So I'll be sitting in my Cyclops visor, sitting there hearing the
And it seems to me that the Apocalypse is going to have a lot of character study.
He appears at the end of season 1 as like setting up when they go back in time. They see Apocalypse when he's Anubis Suba, where he's
and Savador.
Yeah, and so basically, I'm excited to see where they go. I'm sure I think this is like the
reveal of some of the new cast members that are going to be playing. You have Michael Johnston, who recently was in the movie Obsession. He's going to be playing the younger Nathan Summers that will soon be Cable, because that's the time where you're going to see the whole reunion with Jean and Cyclops in the future. I think I can't wait for that. And you I forgot. And you got Nev Campbell that is going to be voicing Polaris, one of the new characters in the X-Men universe that will be in season 2.
People really thought she was going to be in like Avengers Doomsday as Polaris, and I'm like, I love Nev Campbell, I do, but I just don't see them putting her in Avengers Doomsday as Polaris.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. No.
I feel like not because I'm not trying to say she's too old, but like I feel like they're gonna want someone like Anya Taylor-Joy.
They want to get someone who is younger, because right now, because Nev Campbell, she's in her 50s, and I don't think they want to have an older Polaris.
Because I don't think Nev Campbell shows up. I don't think that's gonna move the needle.
No, because they're not tied into the X-Men 97 is not tied into the MCU. Yeah. They're not tied into Avengers Doomsday. That's its own thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like I said, that's what people thought. Oh, Ian McKellen's daughter is going to be Polaris.
Look how awesome it is that Jean is using her psychic powers to pop up the claws. I was like, where the hell did that come from? What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the show happens. I can't wait to see a.
Oh, and that shot of Wolverine doing that first comic book issue of doing this here, doing like, hey, come on, make Logan's day, and this is supposed to be.
Hugh Jackman did that back.
Yeah,
in
he did. Yeah, he did it in the 2000. He did, and then he did it in Deadpool and Wolverine again. And they used that shot in X-Men '97 in the trailer as an Easter egg because that was from the issue #1 of the limited series of called Wolverine. They had 4 issues dealing with him in Japan and in the Yakuza. I had to look that up to really know where that was from, but it was so cool that they brought back the iconic look as an Easter egg, and it just gets me more pumped.
Yeah.
But anyway, what did you think about the X-Men '97 trailer? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now we can get into what the fuck news that Jake wants to talk about so bad.
Yeah. And this isn't a controversial story this week, so that's great.
100%. Seems to me that now that Hulu has officially announced that Jake Johnson and Damian Wayne Jr. are going to reunite, and it's going to be more of the Cable Guy inspired comedy pilot episode of the show.
At first I didn't have no intro. I had no intro. I'm like, so what? I mean, it's like just another. But then it said no. This is based on the movie, the Cable Guy movie I love with Jim Carrey, and that's when I'm like, oh fuck no. And then I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, well, you know what? Who's playing the Cable Guy? If it's Damian Wayne Jr. playing the Jim Carrey role, I'm on board because I think he'd be hilarious as the Cable Guy. But it's Jake Johnson playing the Damian Wayne. When I'm like, I love Jake Johnson. He's great in Into the Spider-Verse and New Girl. And I even like him in Let's Be Cops because they did that movie together, him and Damian Wayans Jr. But I just don't see him playing the Jim Carrey role because he's not Jim Carrey. I mean, Damian Wayans, I think, could pull it off because it's a different idea, different aspect. You could see him being more like Marlon Wayans in a way doing that role versus Jim Carrey. And I'm like, it's such bullshit, okay, that you're even going to Jake Johnson's going to play.
To be
that
fair,
role.
I don't think that he's going to try to impersonate him. I think he's going to take the character and make it his own.
Hi, I'm Chip Douglas. I'm not going to have a speech impediment because I don't want to pull up a Jim Carrey. So we're going to hang out later. And then Damian Wayne Jr. Yeah, cool. I just think, honestly, it would work so much better with Damian Wayne Jr. as Chip Douglas. I just think it would be so funny. I could see him going like this. He says, Steven, I just want to hang out. You know?
They did say that it's not going to be like a direct remake of the classic. They said that the pilot episode that they're making is more of an inspired by the Cable Guy and not a direct adaptation to it.
Why don't they just make something original? That might right there be great. If they're not going to make it a direct, then just make it original.
It's just more influence from the Cable Guy, but it's not going to be a direct a remake.
Wouldn't you guys rather have a Cable Guy 2? Wouldn't it be better if Jim Carrey stalking both these guys? Wouldn't that be a
to quote the Rolling Stones, you can't always get what you want, but you just might find you get what you need.
They already got the pilot written by Rob Russell, who did the New Girl and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and you got one of the writers that did Cobra Kai, and yeah, so they're all served as like 3 showrunners for the series.
I just feel like this is something. It's like shit that should not be, you know. Because it's like, do we really need this? You know, it's like, you know, I just don't think we need this. I love the Cable Guy. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever seen the Cable Guy.
I have seen the movie. It says that the long line of the Untitled Project states, in a world of endless streaming, binging, and algorithms, old school cable technician Chip Douglas languish alone until Steven Stephens, that played by Wayans, calls to have his cable turned back on, reconnecting Chip with childhood friend he never forgot. The relationship gives each man something he's been missing until Chip's enthusiasm turns into obsession, inspired by the movie. Yeah, it's definitely more of the modern day take of the version of the Cable Guy.
So he's just gonna put well, you know what? So basically, he's gonna go on his MySpace, or not fucking MySpace.
MySpace is dead at this point.
I don't know why he's just thinking MySpace. Yeah. He's gonna go.
Do you know what century you're in?
What
year
do you think it is, sir?
Isn't it 2008? So yeah, he'll probably go on his Twitter and then make some offensive remarks to get him fired, and he'll probably
make some TikTok viral.
Hey, Steven. What you doing? It's me, Chip. To which I'm like, I could see Jake Johnson playing the Matthew Broderick role. And I
Yeah,
could easily see
it feels like it's an odd choice that they should have been swapped. But also this is a pilot that they just they haven't even made yet. They just written a pilot, and we don't know how well it's going to do.
Play it. He's going to play it more earnest than Jim Carrey. Well, I think Damian Wayans would play it accurately. He would play it like goofier. Well, I think Jake Johnson would play it too earnest, and I feel like he's going to come off as like, oh, I feel sorry.
And also, they both were in the show New Girl, so yeah, they definitely had some on-screen chemistry on that show. And I really enjoy New Girl. And I love Jake Johnson as a comedic actor. I think he was great in Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. I really enjoyed him in New Girl. I even enjoyed his cameo in 20. I loved him in Tag. And I actually liked him in this cameo in 21 Jump Street that played the principal.
I just feel like he comes off more like if you're doing a comedy duo, he's the straight guy in the comedy. Damian Wayne Jr. would be the goofy guy, because look at Damian Wayne Jr. and the other guy.
Well, he did not play the straight guy in Tag. He was the stoner, like washed up fucking asshole in the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't the funniest. Like Jeremy Renner was much funnier than him in that movie. And I just feel like I'm not shitting on Jake Johnson. I think Jake Johnson's funny, but like, I feel like you're comparing Jake Johnson. You're basically stepping into the shoes of Jim fucking Carrey. Okay, how are you going to compete against that dude?
Honestly, this feels kind of doomed from the start because number one,
it'll probably
Cable Guy was not all that successful when it first came out. It didn't get successful till later. So
it developed a cult. Yeah, it was more of a cult following for the Cable Guy.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll probably run.
So this is on a Hulu. But also, this is they're not even making this into a movie. This is supposed to be like a pilot episode for Hulu on a television streaming service.
Plus, yeah, it's a pilot, so it might not even see the light of day.
This is pretty much dead then.
Yeah, because remember, look at the Buffy pilot. That movie, it never saw the light of day. I mean,
we don't know that it's going to see the light of day. If they really like what they've seen, then they'll definitely pick it up.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm hoping they don't because I just don't want this. I'd rather.
Here's the thing: if the fucking episode's good, then I don't give a shit. I'm all about give me a good show.
It's really. I guarantee you, it's gonna be really hard to like top that movie.
Because I'm not going to go into that show and comparing to Jim Carrey's performance to Jake Johnson's performance. Because if you're going to compare it, if you're expecting it to be, because if you're going to expect them to be exactly like the Jim Carrey role, then you're going to be disappointed and jumping into the wrong show.
They know what they're doing because they're making a TV version of the Cable Guy. If they weren't making a TV version, if it was just called, Cable. First off, why is it called the Cable Guy? Who has cable besides?
They don't have a title. They don't have a title for the show yet. They said it's
Dead on Arrival.
Well, why not call it the Internet Guy or Best Buddies?
The internet service provider.
The Internet Guy.
The streamer guy.
Anyway, what do you all think of this news? Let us know. Love to read what you have to say.
Now we're going to get into the memorial section. We're going to start off.
2 memorials. 2.
Yeah, we have 2. Yeah, I know, Jake. Let me finish. Don't jump in and interrupt me. Okay, so the first memorial that we're going to cover Marcia Lucas. Marcia Lucas, the film editor who won an Oscar for editing Star Wars, directed by her former husband, George Lucas, and shaped several influential films of the 1970s, died Wednesday in Rancho Mirage, California. She was 80 years old. The family's attorney confirmed she died of cancer. From the quote, Marcia will be remembered as a brilliant storyteller and trailblazer for women in film, a loving mother and grandmother, a generous host, and a loyal friend whose humor and sparkle filled every room she entered. Her influence on film is indelible, but those who knew her best will remember the way she made life feel more vivid, more beautiful, more fun, and more full of love, the family statement said. Her work was known for its emotional intelligence, rhythm, and humanity, a rare ability to find the truth of a scene and bring heart, momentum, and clarity to the screen. Marcia Lucas, who sometimes called George Lucas Secret Weapon, co-edited George Lucas American Graffiti, for which she was Oscar nommed and then won an Oscar for editing Star Wars. She also edited Return of the Jedi, as well as Martin Scorsese's Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, Taxi Driver, and New York, New York. She played a significant role in helping her husband shape the Star Wars films. In his book, The Secret History of Star Wars, Michael Kaminsky wrote, Marcia Luke, along with many of George's friends, critique which characters worked, which ones didn't, which scenes were good, and Lucas composed the script in this way. Marcia was always critical of Star Wars, but she was one of the few people Lucas listened to carefully, knowing she had a skill for craving out strong characters. George Lucas told Rolling Stone in 1977 that it was her idea to have Obi-Wan Kenobi die on the Death Star. The more I thought about Ben getting killed, the more I liked the idea because, one, it made the threat of Vader greater, and that tied in the Force and in the fact that he could use the dark side. Mark Hamill said in an interview that I know for a fact that Marcia Lucas was responsible for convincing him to keep that little kiss for luck before Carrie Fisher and I swung across the chasm in the first film. George Lucas thought people were laughing in the previews, but according to Hamill, she said, George, they're laughing because it was so sweet and unexpected. And her influence was such that if she wanted to keep it, it was in. Born Marcia Lou Griffin in Modesto, she was raised in North Hollywood and started out as a film librarian before serving in an editors guild apprenticeship. She met George Lucas when they were both hired to work with legendary editor of Verena Field. She married George Lucas in 1969 and served as an assistant editor on the first feature film called THX 1138. They divorced in 1983. Her second marriage, which ended in 1993, was to Tom Rodriguez, who worked as a production manager at Skywalker Ranch. She is survived by her daughters, Amanda Lucas and Amy Solper, her grandchildren of Flex Helicani. Sorry if I'm butchering the name. But anyway, I want to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about this whole passing of Marcia Lucas?
Obviously, this is just terrible news. I mean, Marcia Lucas, she is credited as the woman who saved Star Wars, and I've seen nothing to suggest that she wasn't that. Because, she just did an amazing, amazing job on that movie, and she will be sorely missed.
Yeah, I almost forgot that she was responsible for editing the first Star Wars movie, and she's like definitely the reason why these movies are where they are. Because when George Lucas showed the rough footage of the first cut of the first Star Wars movie with George Lucas and other filmmakers, most of them were not happy with how it looked. And even in the visual effects of the shots were not even done. You saw the X-Wing of the aerial combat fighting. Those were still like World War II stock footage. And none of these effects were done at that time. Francis Ford Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola ripped the shit out of that rough cut of that movie. Didn't understand what the fuck was going on. Like, what is the story? Who's the hairy guy? Who's the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz? Like, you need to give us a synopsis and give us the glimpse of what this movie is about, what the story is, and what is this world, so that way we could actually enjoy the movie as a whole. And that's why he added the opening crawl text, because in the rough cut there was no opening crawl text, not at all. So his ex-wife, him editing the movie and giving the idea that she was the one who's responsible for having the idea to have Obi-Wan getting killed off by Vader. That way, blowing up the Death Star would definitely impact the story even more. And I thought that, like, you know what? That was definitely a great idea. I mean, I never thought that she was the one that came up with that idea in the process. But pass it on to Jake. What did you think about the passing?
I mean, I love Star Wars. Empire is so good, and I love the original trilogy. I know she literally, they went through a messy divorce in '83, and that's how she got a lot of money from Lucas. And of course, they have children together. So, like Amanda Lucas is George Lucas's daughter, and and that's her two children are George Lucas's two children as well. So I'm sure George Lucas will probably be attending the funeral, because
Yes.
that's the mother of his children, and
Yep.
so and which I said I understand. Like apparently George Lucas said him and her went through a messy divorce in '83, and when he was writing Temple, they were making Temple of Doom at the time, and him and Steven Spielberg were just going through the roughs, and Spielberg said that's why it's so dark, because I was going through a messy divorce, and that's why he said I just wrote it, like I went to a dark place and wrote this movie, and that's why people said, "Oh,
What do we need for this? What do we need for this really dark scene here with the big guy? Wait, hang on. You
My
want
heart's
more alimony? Let me get back to you on that. All right, let's have a literal heart being ripped out of someone's chest.
why don't you rip my heart out, Marshall?"
Temple of Doom was the darkest, most edgy
Because he
Indiana
said
Jones out of the three.
Place of hurt because he was hurt because he goes,
The rip in the heart. Yeah, because the rip in the heart scene, that whole ritual in that third act, that felt like a more of a metaphor of what happened to George Lucas. He metaphorically got his heart ripped out,
and I feel
which
bad.
that kind of makes more sense.
I feel bad for George Lucas, but at the same time, it's like, you know what?
Because basically, her as editor, she was basically George Lucas's secret weapon. Because I didn't even know that she also edited in Return of the Jedi. She also did the edited for Taxi Driver, which I had no idea, and I believe that she worked on an American Graffiti with them too.
Hey, Kate Capshaw, hi. So there's gonna be a scene where we slowly lower you into a pit of fire, and do I get a no? You don't get a say. Get in there.
So can I call you Marcia while you're at it? And he goes, "Why are you calling Marcia?" Just shut up and let me call you Marcia. Try to get Marcia. Spielberg's, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, it's like, which
that's how you pronounce her name. My bad with Marcia. That's her name.
Yeah. Which I will say, she has over the years been very vocal of George Lucas's prequel show, because George Lucas forbid her from being even on set because he was mad at her, because of all that alimony, because he had to sell his animation company because he's going through that divorce, and he was building Skywalker Ranch, and so Steve Jobs bought the animation department from George Lucas so he could finish Pixar. To which George Lucas like, I fucking hate. I'm sure George Lucas was like hates her guts. He's I fucking hate you. You stole my. He's worth
$4 billion nowadays. He'll be fine.
He could have literally made another billion if he would have kept Pixar.
No.
But
also, it also doesn't really matter. George Lucas has got all the money in the world now. I don't think he really cares.
He's literally building a museum right now.
He literally built a fucking empire for that franchise for Star Wars, and when he sold it off to Disney, he's got all the money in the world to retire.
He doesn't all that $4 billion to charity too.
He did, yeah. And also what Ryan said, he's building a museum.
Yeah, I saw it. That's awesome.
It belongs in a museum.
Which I will say, I know she was very critical of Indiana Jones. I mean, not Indiana Jones, but very critical of the prequels and the sequel trilogy, saying that she thought the prequels were kind of stupid, and she thought the sequel trilogy was just ripping off the legacy of her and her ex-husband. And she said she felt like, which I can see that. I can understand, because, I mean,
I get the criticism too. Yeah. And also, did you know that Lucas was actually, George was very critical on The Force Awakens, saying, yeah, but it's way too nostalgic, and you're bringing back the same vehicles and weapons that from the original trilogy. If I were to make the sequel trilogy, I would have added different weapons, new ships, and it would be a lot fresh and new and different. And we've seen what he did with new and different in the prequels. Regardless, say what you want about the prequels, but at least he tried to give us something a little new and fresh in weapons, and not just bring back the same material.
But everybody wanted the same. They wanted stormtroopers, Darth Vader, and they wanted like Luke Skywalker. That's what they all wanted.
Let's not get into the weeds on that stuff. Yeah. Let's just say rest in peace, Marcia.
But Marcia, I will say thank you. I want to say thank you, because you saved Star Wars. You gave us a Star Wars. It was her. You
literally saved Star Wars' ass, really, with your editing technique and your ideas. You really helped shape of what movies are today. She had a great big part to play in that whole scenario.
And she made Princess Leia a badass rather than just being some like damsel in distress.
Yeah, she's the reason why that Leia's a badass character. Because Carrie Fisher's Leia was literally the first female badass on screen, and broke the fucking cycle of being the damsel in distress for female characters in the blockbuster movie.
I guarantee if she had been the editor for Revenge of the Sith, Padme and Natalie Portman wouldn't have just stood there the whole movie and be like, "Oh, Anakin, you're breaking my heart." She would actually did something in the movie.
Well, she was pregnant, so I don't know how much you can do physically.
I mean, she had a lot of scenes that George Lucas cut out. So
yeah, that's true.
she's trying to build the Rebel Alliance behind Palpatine's back.
Yeah, that's in the deleted scenes. And she had another scene with Obi-Wan and Padme that Obi-Wan said, like, I know you two are together, and I knew Anakin would make him happy.
I think Marcia would have kept that in the. I think she was the editor. She would have kept it, but she wasn't the editor because George Lucas hated her guts. So, which now I think about, he probably isn't going to that funeral. Now I think about it, he probably isn't. He's like,
I'm sure he'll be there.
He'll be there, dude. He'll do the
He'll
paid
be the guy
respect.
smiling.
Here's the thing: regardless of his difference with his ex-wife, he will still go and pay respects. He's not going to be a dick saying "fuck her."
He's like, without you, I don't have.
Because without her, this fucking franchise wouldn't be where it is today.
And he doesn't have two amazing children because of it.
That's true.
He's like,
well, what did you guys think about the passing of Marcia Lucas? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. She will definitely be missed.
Yes.
Okay. Now now last but not least for the memorial segment, we're going to talk about the passing of Anthony Head, who was in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, has died at the age of 72. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Ted Lasso star Anthony Head has died at the age of 72. Head was beloved by Buffy's legion of fans for the role as Rupert. How do you pronounce the last name?
Rupert Giles.
Rupert Giles, Rupert Giles, the mentor and father figure of the series, led by Sarah Michelle Gellar. Most recent years saw the actor appear in a hit Apple TV series called Ted Lasso, a fantasy drama Merlin, and comedy of the series Little Britain. Head's death was confirmed today in a statement from his daughter, first reported by BBC News, which stated that he had passed away peacefully of complications due to pneumonia surrounded by his family. To quote from his family, it was very heavy hearts that we announced the death of our extraordinary father. It has been and forever will be an honor and privilege to be his daughters and to have witnessed firsthand the impact both he and his work have had on so many. Born in 1954 in London, he had began his career on stage before becoming a steward of British film and television. He made dozens of guest appearances in series such as Jonathan Creek, Doctor Who, and Spooks, as well as regular roles in Merlin and Little Britain. Head was also known as a singer, as seen in the West End appearances within the Rocky Horror Show, and in the 21st century's rock opera film Repo, the Genetic Opera. Between 2020 and 2023, Head portrayed former AFC Richmond owner Rupert Mananian in Ted Lasso, but would likely be for his long tenure in Buffy, for which he remained best known. As Gale's Head appeared in 121 episodes of the cult classic series and was once set for his own BBC spin-off series. Before plans fell through, in the years since, Head was continued to meet fans at conventions and reprise his roles as Gale's in 2023's Audible series Slayers on Buffyverse story. So I want to pass it on to Jay, because I know you're a biggest a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, and you've known the actor for a long time because he's been a regular on that show. How did you feel about the passing?
First off, his Giles is what everybody calls him.
Yeah, Giles. Yeah, my bad on the pronunciation.
And but the only people that call him Rupert is his enemy Ethan Rain. But still, that's besides the point. I think he's a great actor. I mean, he is so. He's that father figure in Buffy that Buffy needs, because she has a father on the show. Her father's non-existent, so he becomes that father figure to her on the show, and he's really good in the show. And he was in a lot of movies. I remember he's in a great episode of Doctor Who with David Tennant, where it's called Reunion, where it's him and Sarah Jane, and there are these people that are made of gargoyles. They're like, rah! That's really great. And Buffy, he will always be known for Buffy, and I have not seen Ted Lasso, so I don't know much about him being in Ted Lasso, other than I know he's like the Hannah something's husband.
I've heard he was supposed to be. I heard, according to John Campy, he just covered this earlier today, and he said that his character is supposed to be the antagonist, and he was one of the best. He was probably the main reason why the show was really good. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I mean, I haven't seen Ted Lasso. I've only seen at least 2 episodes at the beginning, and I fell off of it. And
I've never seen it.
and most of the time that show was just made about good people doing good things. And you do have a little bit of antagonist here and there, and I believe his character is supposed to be the best antagonist out of that show.
But I mean, he also has been in movies like he's in like the first 10 minutes of Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, and as one of the monks that gets killed. Yeah, and he's also in the first 10 minutes of the movie. He's one of the monks that Idris Elba talks to at the beginning. The head monk.
I mean, I don't remember. I've tried to forget that movie, and I didn't know that he was in the movie. I completely forgot he was in it.
Also, he's also in one of the worst. He's in the. I'm trying to say it's bad, but oh yeah, it's a piece of shit movie. Repo the Genetic Opera, which is a very bad movie. You know, about where he's basically, it's kind of like the Repo Man, but a musical version of that, where it's basically about like he basically is the Repo Man, and his daughter is the girl from Spy Kids, and basically he has to sing while he goes and kills people and takes their organs away, because he works for a company, and he's great. He is the best part of the movie because he's actually given his all. Well, everybody else in the movie is god awful actors. Okay, like even the girl from Spy Kids is not very good in the movie, and I'm like there is just like in Paris Hilton is in that movie. That's how bad the movie is in that movie. And
that almost sounded like straight to DVD.
No, it was so bad. The studio I don't think they even put it in theater. I think they were going to put it, but I think they pulled it from theaters because it's that bad. Okay, it's from the director of Saw 2, 3, and 4 and Spiral.
Darren Lynn Bousman.
Yeah, he directed, and he was gloating on Saw 5, 4 blue commentary, going, "Oh, my next movie's Repo the Genetic Opera. My next movie's Repo. It's going to be such a great movie." And then I'm like, "This is a piece of shit." Like, are you kidding me? It's that bad. I mean, it's like if Marilyn Manson read a comic book and was like, "This is," and then was listening to music and going like, should be a movie. Imagine if you take Marilyn Manson, a comic book, and an opera music, and then shove that shit together. That's what it is, okay? And it's like so fucking awful. But he's good in the movie, though. He's actually what the only redeeming quality of that piece of shit. And I will say this though, he's a great actor. He is he really. I think he could have been Alfred one day. I think he should have been like James Gunn's Batman, and he could have been a good Alfred. I think he's that good, and he will always live on as Giles from Buffy. And I know he in the later seasons kind of stepped back from the show and only was a reoccurring appearance because he lives in England, and that show shot in California, and he's like, I can't go back and forth from England to California a lot. My girls are teenagers. I want to grow up with them. So, of course, I know in the later seasons, he said, I'm just going to go. Can you write me out the show for a while so I can go to England with my kids? And so, of course, yeah, and there's even photos of him and his daughters on set of Buffy because they would have to go back and forth. And I know one of the guys from The Walking Dead who is British, he had that same issue where he's like, my kids are young. And I live in London. I don't want to go back and forth flying, every other weekend to see them. And I would like, so I think honestly, and I get that. And I mean, and even though he's gone, his legacy, I don't think it sucks that he died like from melanoma, or whatever.
Pneumonia.
I mean, it
that
sucks.
That sucks to have suffered that shit. It does. And I've only watched a little bit of the pilot of Buffy, and I've seen his performance, and it was great. And I've been wanting to check out that show on the Sci-Fi Channel that was on for like several seasons of Merlin, and he's definitely one of the regulars on that show. He's not a guest star on that show. I've been wanting to check out Merlin. I mean, I've seen some of the budget of the effects, and it's a little dated, but it's on a TV budget, so who cares? It did develop a lot of cult following for that show.
I mean, I'm excited to check out Ted Lasso just for his performance. I mean, I know he's not like
now it makes me want to watch Ted Lasso and see his performance on that show.
It's very
he is
good.
Giles. He's so much a kind-hearted man, and Giles. And I know that he would go around. I remember when Joss Whedon got fired. Where Joss Whedon got like everyone's accused of, he said he made a statement saying, from what I understand on my experience with Joss, said I had a different experience, and he goes, I have to, he said that to go back and rethink about this because he said everything, which I'm like thinking when he said that, you literally the later seasons were not there, so it's like you were just there on the weekends shooting your stuff. So I'm like, I don't think you. I mean, the first 4 seasons, I don't think it was bad, but then got later when Joss got ego, had a big ego, but but I mean, I just I know he never did any reunions because he lives in London. He does not live in the U.S.
Well, he
so
did the
that's why
audible.
I
He
think
did he did that whole Buffy verse audible voiceover as the character. So yeah, he did technically reprise that role.
he could have done more movies. You know, he could do more movies, but he doesn't want to because he wants to just do British.
Yeah,
He just
it's
doesn't
probably
want
by
to leave
choice.
London.
And also, he
wants to
wanted
stay in
to,
London.
but didn't he want to just spend time with his family a little bit more? So that way he's busy. That way he hasn't had a busy schedule.
Yeah, he's like Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead. He's like, I just want to spend time in London. I don't want to go to the U.S. and keep working on projects. But I'm like, you would make more money. But I mean, to him, it's
But
like,
he
I
is
don't care
working
about
on
money.
he
I
is
just
working
do
on
it.
another AMC show too. I think or another show for Andrew Lincoln. Yeah, even after that whole spinoff of The Walking Dead of Brigham Michonne.
That was a shit spinoff. By the way. But yeah, rest in peace, Andrew. I mean, rest in peace, Andrew Lincoln. Rest in peace, Anthony. Ryan, what do you have to say about him? Have you seen him on Doctor Who? Have you seen him?
I've seen him on Ted Lasso. He was quite good.
Okay.
You like him? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, do you like his performance and all that stuff?
Yeah, he was very good. I haven't gotten to that point in Doctor Who, or I haven't been there in a minute, so it's just I don't have a ton of range on him, but I did, like I said, I really liked him in Ted Lasso. I thought he was quite good there, so rest in peace.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, what did you think about this whole the passing of Anthony Head? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now we're going to get into a little bit of the comments. We only got like a few of them before we wrap the show up. Jeremiah said, but it's good to have you back, Ryan. I'm enjoying your Marvel movie projects very much.
Thank you.
Now he continue on and says, I'm a bit surprised that Digital Circus, the last act, isn't in the thumbnail since it was #1 at the box office yesterday for 7.8 million. This is a huge moment for independent animation. Well, I've never seen Digital Circus, so I was not aware of it.
And okay, that was yesterday. Today it retook. Today Obsession or whatever Backrooms retook its #1 spot. So
yeah,
you know, we didn't do it yesterday. If we would have done it, we would.
Yeah. And he continues on and says, I'm actually curious about Backrooms. I'll probably wait for streaming, but supposedly it's not gory at all. It sounds like a good entry level horror movie. Well, one thing you got to understand that just because it's called label as a horror movie, it doesn't just always rely on it's not just about the gore fest or the kill count. It's only horror movies are there to what scares the shit out of you. That's what horror movie really is. It's not about, oh, there's blood and gore, slashing throats, decapitating heads, like blood coming all over the ocean of blood coming in the room. No, that's not what horror is. Horror is supposed to be made what scares the shit out of you and what terrifies you and what puts you on edge. That's what horror means.
Yeah. There's two types of horror. There's gory horror and then there's scary horror. Scary horror is like The Conjuring. It's not gory, but it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, but if you want some gory, if you want some gory like Terrifier or Saw movies, but those movies were more like a torture porn.
Yeah.
Now he continues on. I mean, so far as YouTubers writing and or directing Star Wars, I watch Jenny Nicholson's Star Wars film. Give a movie to someone who actually understands the franchise.
Nicholson, really? That's where the bar is?
Wait, who's Jenny Nicholson?
She's like a YouTuber who bitches about all modern Star Wars.
She made an excellent video on the Star Wars Hotel.
Never heard of it. I know who she is, but she doesn't really have. I've seen her in the trivia. I remember she was in the trivia Schmeldown at the during that whole event with Sam Witwer and John Campia and Mark Ellis and Christian Harloff. I've seen her knowledge of Star Wars. She did not do well in the trivia.
Who?
Well, I'll send you
Jenny Nicholson.
I'll send you the video. It is very good.
Well, by the way, has she even done anything lately? I mean, what was it like? It wasn't like I remember like it wasn't like years ago. Like when
her videos make millions of views, so she doesn't really have to do all that much.
But I mean, like I said, I'm just saying. Like I said, I don't think she would be the one that. I think Disney. I don't think Disney would go for Star Wars YouTubers because that's such a sore subject. I think they would probably, if anybody would get Star Wars.
You're saying that she understands the universe. Have you seen her in the trivia Schmeldown? She didn't do well in the trivia Schmeldown, so I question her knowledge of Star Wars, dude. No offense.
It's like we got to make Star Wars fantastic. How do we make Star Wars fantastic? We got to make it all male again. Okay, we can't have any female leads. We can't have any male leads. It's got to be all white people again. You're like, why the fuck are we doing all this? Okay, no, fuck
All
no. Like, no. It's like John Boyega's got to go. You're like, why? And he said, because I'm in charge now. And they're like, okay, fuck off. Okay, get someone else back. Go. Like,
Now he continues on, says, big fan of the practical effects. Very exciting seeing Lex in the suit. I completely agree. I mean, I'm excited to see him in the Warsuit in action. And now the last but not least in the comments, speaking of, as much as I have mixed feelings about what we've heard about the upcoming Narnia, the magician's nephew, I am very excited about the emphasis on practical effects. Well, yeah. I mean, is the Narnia movie for this one that Greta Gerwig is directing?
Right, so basically, in the Narnia, in the Chronicles of Narnia, the book series, the Magician's Nephew is technically the book one.
Yeah, that was supposed to be technically the book one. Yeah,
book two, and then there's Prince Caspian. But when Disney, or not Disney, but Fox, when they first made the first movie, they made was it Disney? Yeah, Disney.
No, it wasn't. It was no. It was Disney first.
Yeah, Disney
not until the third Chronicles of Narnia movie.
Yeah.
What was the third one called?
The Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. That's the one. That's when Fox required the rights at that time,
which is ironic because they had the rights that they like. We don't want them.
Now it's under the same roof. How ironic is that shit? That's so crazy. Because even someone who has really enjoyed the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, I thought that was a very good movie. I thought that Prince Caspian was solid, not as good as the first one. That was a little bit more darker and a little bit more edgier. The Dawn Shredder to me, the Voyage of the Dawn Shredder to me was a big letdown because it felt like it could have gone straight to DVD, and it felt less fantastical, and it's just the quality itself just felt like a dip dive to me. It was like, I did not like it.
This is what happened when Disney got the rights to Chronicles of Narnia again.
Don't do this to me. God damn it!
Yeah, but here's the thing: this is not going to be Disney now. Now that this is going to be,
they got rid of it. They're like, whoever wants it, take it. We do not want this. And so Greta Gerwig's like, I want it.
Netflix has it.
Like, because it's like Disney, we do not want it.
I keep forgetting that she's not adapting from the Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe. She's adapting to the first book.
Because Disney,
but it's still not going to be good.
Yeah, they made the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe first because they felt like that's a more interesting book compared to like the Magician Nephew.
Let's wrap her up, huh?
All right, we got 2 more comments from Jeremiah.
Okay, 2 more comments. Okay, I love that you guys have said in the past shows to be respectful in the comments, and then of the meanwhile comments, and then meanwhile Jacob is bursting out laughing at me, and
I didn't play that clip though.
Wait, what?
In the previous.
And what?
Boo, you whore.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We're wrapping the show up. It's been a fun ride, and it's great to have Ryan Cam back. Thank you so much. It feels like a lifetime. And
we have the dream team back.
And this is the first time in a long time that it was just actually the 3 of us, and then we didn't always have a lot of guests, which, don't get me wrong, I enjoy having guests, but it's just great just to have the 3 of us because that's basically our thing, and it's just great. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us, and I wanted to pass it on to Ryan. What do you got coming up on your channel?
So MCU project's ongoing. 96 project is ongoing. Just today I dropped new episode of the horror movie Iceberg podcast. Myself and Russell Howell talked about VHS 85. So check that one out if you are so inclined. And then Talking Gotham, of course.
Hey, by the way, we shot that this week. I mean, are you still working on it, or is it coming out next week?
I'm trying to upload it, but YouTube's being YouTube about it. So like some patience, please.
You know Jake likes to hassle us about,
I'm like, wait,
come on, man. And you know what my response is?
Patience.
By the way,
Jake-
looking at that clip looks so fucking fake. I just realized looking at that clip, I'm like, it just looks like he's on a green screen.
Well, he technically was on green. He technically kind of was.
No, like we're not out, guys. Like I'm not flying out to where the fuck you guys are.
Because they weren't. No, they were not in the same scene together.
Yeah, it just looks like it. Now I'm like, yeah, you could tell they're like, there's a tennis ball. You see that right there? That is that's Mark Hamill.
Well, he could have just talked a body double. But
Like-
Jake, what do you got coming up on your channel?
I just dropped my review for. I just dropped a review on my channel, and of course, I'm gonna review Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight. I just completed it; it's done. And so, yeah, that's what's gonna be happening. And of course, we have a project coming up that we're not gonna talk about yet, but it is a scary project. But yeah, that's what we have coming up, and you can find 3dmoviecinema.com.
And you can find my YouTube channel at MattWyatt92. I will be reviewing Masters of the Universe and Scary Movie 6. Definitely keep an eye open for that. And you can check out a couple of my reviews I did, Obsession and Mandalorian Grogu. And check out my trailer reaction for X-Men 97 Season 2. But anyway, that will do for us on this today's show. Thank you guys for joining us on this 2-hour live stream. What did you think about any of these topics? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Give us a support. Give us a little boost. We would really appreciate it. I will be putting up clips of each of the segments on the live, so that way most of the segments are definitely going to be edited, but the live stream is going to be the uncut version. But if you want to watch the edit,
when you think about it.
dude.
Fucking crap. And I. Oh.
I warned you.
But anyway, you can check out the YouTube shorts on this clip of the segments. I will be adding a lot more because that will definitely help boost the channel even more. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us on this live stream. We hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from. And stay tuned for more of our content.
Wow. Sharpton for president, y'all. I'm outie.
Jesse Jackson for VP.